Welcome, everybody, to Live from Beyond. This is Eternal Allies Yucatan, Episode 4. I'm Kevin. I'm the GM. These guys here, they're the players. Players, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Hello, everybody. My name is Alex. I play investigator and private detective Damon Smoke, who happens to find himself being chased by a monster and among monsters. I mean, objective.
Sure. No, it's good. I love it. Who's the real monster?
They are the ones in the woods.
The actual monster.
Yeah. Okay.
The one that's eating people.
All right, Go ahead, Kim.
My name is Kim, and I will be playing Gus Allen. And I'm a little out of the loop. Last thing I know, we're slipping off the side of a mountain, but
there's monsters now.
Now there's monsters, so that's great.
Pick it up a notch.
Hello, I'm Nick, and I'm going to be playing Kitty Kennedy, the young actress who is a bit concerned that her boyfriend's communist proclivities are going to land him in trouble.
Hi, I'm Andrew. I'm playing Dr. Harvey Cohen, the esteemed government contractor biochemist who is now on the brink of a grand discovery that's going to propel him back into relevance in the scientific community.
I'm Aaron, and I'm playing Fritz Drechner, the antiquarian from Berlin, who is totally not upset about the fact that all of us have seen a monster and all of us seem to see different things. This is totally normal.
All right,
Freud would say we're fine.
So, a replay of last session. Kevin, do you mind if I just quickly...
Yeah, go ahead. Try not to take too long on any specifics.
Okay, so... quickly, where we last left off, Kim, Harvey was falling down. There was like a mudslide, and he fell. We bandaged him up, and we found another obelisk that is like warning.
Right.
The upper half was like some sort of like weird frog monster, but we just said fuck it, and we kept walking. We eventually walked into an ambush where there was like seemed like a million people shooting at us. A bunch of our porters died. There was like the people that ambushed us were like killing them left and right. There was a guy that was like cutting off a porter's head, and Damon ended up stealing him, and I mean like kidnapping him, like knocking him out and took us with us. We ran through the jungle. We found a pyramid where we found the body of the previous expedition. There's like dozens and dozens of bodies of the previous expedition.
Forgot that everyone was killed.
Oh yeah, everybody. Well, everybody. We very much got like super ambushed and shot and killed. Some of us got shot or something. I don't know.
One of the porters was decapitated.
Yes, there's like
right. Several of the porters were shot. Some point blank. One of them at least was decapitated. Alex punched a guy in the face and carried him off.
Which is important because when we came across the previous expedition, we found all the bodies had been decapitated.
Yes. Every single body was decapitated. They were dead, lying like around. We found some. Half of them, it seemed like they were eaten by some wild animals, which we later found out that it wasn't. We questioned the guy that Damon acquired as a inventory item.
Stupid boy toy.
Yeah, and so they're the cultists that follow Gotsamal, and he told us that we were on hallowed ground and that he's to be revered, and he said that the monster will soon find us, and he did find us. We saw him standing in the jungle, and after about 5 minutes of confusion, we realized that all of us see him in a different shape, different form, which I think somebody took actually legit sanity damage on that one.
Yeah, I think they might have.
Nick, was that you?
No.
Somebody like failed their roll and took immediate sanity damage because, like I said, it looks different to all of us, and it was like super scary. And then we decided that
given Harvey's deteriorating mental state, it most likely was him. And given the fact that the stream saw what I saw, and they know it's not good.
No, no, I didn't question it because my shit wasn't good either, Harvey. And then so we decided to take refuge in the pyramid, or on top of the pyramid, essentially, as it's kind of like it's not like one of giant pyramids, like one of the smaller ones. And so we decided to take refuge at the top, as we figured if the people that were shooting at us eventually find us, it's a good place to make like a last stand, and also we can see the monster coming from the jungle a little further away if he decides that now's the time to strike.
Mentally prepare to die before you get consumed.
Okay.
I mean, I think
It's
one of
happening.
us is already mentally prepared to die. Whoever took that sanity damage is like, now's the time.
It might have been me. I don't know. I've had sanity damage, so I can't. I can't. I've been
Does.
going insane anyway.
All right.
At least 3.
So are we in the little cabin at the top of the temple right now?
Yeah. So you guys, as the scene opens, let me make sure we're on the right picture here.
Oh, and Harvey let his rat go.
Yes, Harvey let his rat go once
I
he
was
saw
really
the monster
sad.
for the first
I was
time.
upset about that.
Yeah, that's too dangerous.
That's your source of stability.
All right. So you guys are
No, it's not.
at the top of this pyramid. As you look down into the clearing with the last rays of sunset filtering down through the jungle, you see this form emerging from the jungle, sort of grab onto the body that's there that you had left down there. Did you knock him out?
We
Yeah,
I think he was eaten.
yeah. Damon
like-
kicked him
Well,
in the
that's
head.
what we're talking about now.
Yeah, he
So
was knocked
Kim,
out.
you can see a picture of the creature in the clues in the journal under clues Yucatan. You see it grab onto this body and drag it away into the forest.
But well, it's like horrifying. Some kind of worm monster.
Nope.
Nope, definitely not a worm monster.
That's incorrect.
Maybe a velociworm monster.
Right.
Factually incorrect.
It might just be a dude.
I mean, there are certain parts of it that are not entirely worm-like, but I would say it has worm-like qualities in some parts of its.
Nah.
30%
Form.
of it is 100% worm, guys.
Something like that.
All right, and so it sort of just drags away this body.
It's not right.
A few moments later, you can hear like the crunching noise and the snapping of bones.
Does it have any teeth? How can it crunch it? Whatever.
I mean,
thought it was
it
worm.
does have teeth, though.
No, it doesn't.
So without getting into
It's
a
got a
biological discussion,
terrifying amount of teeth, it seems.
are we in that little cabin?
Yeah, so you're
I
at the
guess?
top. You guys can go inside if you'd like.
Yeah.
Maybe carefully with
Let's-
weapons drawn?
Let's all go inside.
All right. Let's see if I remember to prepare a picture for this.
How big is the building at the top? Like 30 feet by 20 feet? Or...
It's not huge.
Okay.
All right. So
Wait, I have a question. Does Nick see his guy eat the guy?
I
sees
don't
him
think
drag him
anyone
off.
saw him eat it.
Oh, that's
I
too
did.
bad.
Yeah.
I did. He was eating it in mine. I saw him. I saw him eat it.
And it
'Cause
was
I
just
wa-
a conquistador?
I want to know what Nick's what it looks like when Nick's guy eats.
We'll talk about it when we all sit around the campfire and talk about our
Tim
experience.
just sees like a dining table with Hannibal Lecter and like setting the table.
It's true.
Right. Yeah. So Kim, well, Kitty, why don't you just let Kim a little bit on what you saw, just so he's in on the joke here.
I saw a man, just a man in metal armor with a big hunting rifle.
So, anyways,
That's about it.
Nah.
I mean,
Which-
who was that man?
Might it have been Francisco de la Belcazar? The one of the men who finally explored this region?
But Dr. Cohen, wasn't that 200 or 300 years ago?
Well,
Five or 600?
is that the strangest part of the last hour?
I was just saying, that's what you're getting hung up on? The giant worm monster just ate like a person.
All right. Well,
All right,
moving inward.
So anyway, so you step inside the room. It seems I don't have a picture for this room specifically, but it looks to be a large ritual chamber. The walls are decorated with murals depicting figures prancing and fighting beneath strange colored skies. The interior of this room is a lot of it is actually painted or has other colorful things. It doesn't seem like it's been worn away by the weather. So I have a picture here of the murals of the walls. I guess that'll be good enough. In the center of the room, there's a large stone altar carved in the form of a man in warrior garb, bent over, I believe, backwards. Is there
You
a
get
picture of that?
sacrificed. You get sacrificed.
Well,
So we could
oh
hide
no,
people.
bent over forwards. He is
Totally.
large enough that another body could lay on top of it. Yeah, and his face is grimaced in pain. At the foot of the altar, there's a large disc of purple and blue stone inset into the floor. And that's about it.
A large disc set into the stone, like into the floor.
Yeah. So here, I will share with you the the symbol inscribed upon the disc. All right, maybe I can just do this.
And the disc is like, so it's a part of the floor then. Is it like? Okay.
But it's like a separate piece inlaid into the.
What is it? Cartouche?
Cartucci?
Does this remind us at all of any of the symbols that they saw outside in the ball court? Those sun and moon symbols?
Yeah, so there is scattered writing in this room. There's no label on this, but there's writing along the walls underneath the murals. It looks like, remember you had seen outside that there is writing that is like, seems like there was writing and then it was like sort of chiseled over in like a rough fashion, like it's vandalized, and then there's more writing underneath it. And then that's chipped away, and then there's a third set.
I have seen the writing on the wall.
All right, get out.
So, wait a minute. Everybody slow down. What exactly is the plan here? We're just going to wait on top of this pyramid until the beast below decides that it needs another snack?
It's nighttime, so we want to wait up. I was like, we can't go out there at night, Gus. Are you kidding?
All right,
so, I mean, I realize that, but
these objectives a while back before we climbed this whole pyramid and had the whole discussion.
So as you say that, a blood-curdling scream erupts from somewhere beneath your feet.
All right, but definitely not in the room we're in.
No.
All right, seems good to me.
We're safe. Everything's fine.
Okay.
So that
Everything is fine
in the ring in the ground.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So right, there's a disc, a purple and blue disc, and that symbol is inscribed on the disc.
When you say
just
blue
at one
stone,
point,
it's set into the floor. What?
It's at one point in the disc. It's not like repeated around the
No,
circumference.
it's in one point. It's in the center.
when you say beneath
Okay.
our feet, are you implying that it sounds like it's coming from within and not without?
Yeah. It sort of echoes up through the pyramid.
Through the structure of the
You
pyramid.
can hear like a reverberation as it. Yeah. And there are. It is not a single scream. There are, I don't know, aftershocks of scream.
All right,
Harvey
Kitty
will
like
examine the-
clutches Alcatruz's arm and looks
Yeah. So
terrified.
everybody make a stability test.
Oh,
No,
God.
no, you know what? No, I don't think it's appropriate given what you've been experiencing so far.
I was just saying, we just saw like a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Monster totally.
I'm kind of happy to hear the screams. That means the
Right.
monster's eating someone else and not me. So like,
Okay, yeah, totally fair.
The
Totally
most
fair.
important question is, what did Alcatraz see?
Oh,
That is a good question.
He describes a creature that shuffled along the ground on thousands and thousands of feet. Was like a mobile puddle, just eyes and mouths bubbling out of each other.
what an idiot.
It's not what it looks like at all.
Not at all.
He seems
right.
quite pale.
well,
Did he
so,
say it was an
all right.
allegory for capitalism?
And mouths-
consumers shuffling along in a shapeless mass. Anyways, so of course, Damon, we can't just run off in the middle of the night, but we must make some kind of plan for the morning. How do we escape?
No, that's when we run off. Like, straight up.
Guns are blazing off the side of the pyramid. Anything.
Harvey's
anything.
going to inspect the disc in the ground. Is there like a gap between the disc and the rest of the floor? Can it move or shift at all?
Okay. So what kind of skills you got here?
Accounting. Cthulhu mythos.
I mean, I'll say that you can use
Or
Cthulhu
cult.
Mythos for basically anything. In my estimation, probably for the rest of the session. So you may want to hold on to that.
Wow.
How about
I mean, depends
occult?
how things go, but I'm guessing things are going to get pretty hot and heavy here.
Occult, astronomy.
Theology,
Nah, used it.
archaeology, anthropology.
Used it.
But I think I might have.
This is to study
no.
the thingy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the disc in the ground.
I have accounting.
Who doesn't?
guys. All right, we learn
And
nothing
history.
from the disc
Fritz
in the ground.
pushes these idiots out of the
And-
way and says, "All right, I will
I
book
have cryptography.
I
It's like a
decide we have to
code,
study
right?
Everything.
Okay.
I have law.
No, there's
Shut
no
up.
law here. You're in the middle of the fucking jungle. Well, all the
That's
jungle
not
around
what
here,
I'm saying.
baby. All right, so Fritz, what do you want to use to inspect this cartouche?
Let's use archaeology.
Okay, no spend required. So you know that the general iconography is similar used to depict the sun and the moon in Mayan symbology for holy sites, but this specific symbol is different. If you had to guess, it most closely resembles a symbol that you saw identified as you were running up the pyramid as the traveler in the sky, but it is different from that.
Okay. And would a spend of theology help clarify here?
How many theology do you have?
One.
I'm not going to make you spend. Yeah, the traveler in the sky clearly corresponds to the planet Venus.
I see.
But this is different even from that. But it's most similar to that symbol.
And I'll kind of poke my head out of the hut because it's evening. Can I tell what the position of Venus is?
Yeah, so Venus is low in the eastern sky.
Wait, so are we? I understand we want to look at this stuff, but are we basically just acting like these blood-curdling screams didn't happen?
Yes.
I mean, what else do you want to do?
For the best.
It seemed like everybody was like,
What exactly do you
Oh.
propose that we do, Kitty?
oh, no, I mean,
You want to go out and see if we can find a door down in the
like,
ground?
oh, let's look at
The
this thing in
freaking
the
worm
ground.
monster can gobble you up in one bite.
Well, the screams bring our attention to this.
I mean, I'm more concerned that means there's more people around here than we thought, and that there might be a way like up through the pyramid into this building we're in that is not just the stairs that we're watching.
Yes.
Anyways, Fritz,
So
what's...
you can conduct a search of the room if you'd like. So Kim, sorry, who was it? Oh, Harvey wanted to. Okay, so Harvey, as you're inspecting this cartouche in the center, you notice that there is a seam that runs around the perimeter of the disc. Okay.
I'm not kidding. If he tries to pick this disc up, I'm gonna slap him.
Oh,
I'm
it's
gonna try and
set in
pick
the
this
floor.
up.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and like turn it or shift it.
So you
Slap him.
can't turn it and shift it. You do you have
So when you're asking, do you have I have the skills you were asking? I just don't have points to spend in them.
Okay. Do you have architecture?
Architecture.
Oh, actually, you
No.
don't need it. Yeah, sorry, you don't even need it because you're searching. So the seam suggests to you that this is a door, which would
Yeah.
open to a chamber below.
Okay.
Unless the
given-
chamber is very large, you don't think that the screams are coming from that chamber.
Kitty's even more concerned that there's another way into this building.
But what are we going to accomplish by getting down there?
Not being up here.
Well,
So,
we'll
Fritz,
probably
you don't...
be eaten.
You're the one with the books here. You don't have some way to banish this, bizarre beast that lurks outside?
So now I'm a priest. That's how this is working.
Wait,
I
you're
mean,
a priest?
the closest one we have.
We're in a lot of trouble. I don't think that we have any books that would particularly help with this instance. I was thinking of looking at the Fishing the River of Stars because of the potential astrological reference, but from what I remember, it's not particularly pertinent.
Okay. So, like I said, there's also murals around the sides of the room. There's the altar. You guys have inspected the cartouche. Also, you notice. Does anybody have astronomy?
If we say yes, do you
Yes.
believe us?
Yeah, I do.
I have
Okay.
a bunch of astronomy, actually.
Gus Allen is an amateur stargazer. He spends most of his time doing that.
Oh no, it's okay. So I just wanted to know. Yeah.
No.
I mean, he's
Okay.
an airplane pilot. He
So
has-
Gus
Same as
and Harvey have astrology.
There's no like. There's no other really like navigation skill. So, anyways, yeah, I have astrology. I know about stars and stuff.
Astronomy.
So
I
then,
asked-
I mean, I mused out loud about the importance of astronomy and astrology at the moment. So
Okay.
So I asked Fritz like what is it he's looking for when he peeks his head outside.
I mentioned that the symbol that we see there is familiar from some of the ones that we saw on the pyramid going in, and seems to relate to the symbol for Venus, and that I was interested as to whether there was anything peculiar or unusual about the position of Venus at the moment.
Okay.
Professor Dreckner, I'm reading Children of the Night and the Nahua Legends. It does mention the Yucatan Peninsula and the Zoxal people. I haven't read it more thoroughly. You might have a better memory of it than I do. I just haven't read it in full yet.
Unfortunately, it's not one that I had gotten to yet. But certainly it seems like one that would be good to read through.
I could do
Did
that.
we
Well,
bring it with us?
Yeah, you guys can
I'm
have the books in your bag.
Then yes, why don't either you or I spend some time looking through this and see whether it has anything that could be useful to us.
okay. Yeah, I can spend some time pouring through it, Kevin.
You wanna pour through it? Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds good. What are the rest of you guys
I
doing?
want to look at the murals around the room.
And I think Gus is potentially adding to my investigation of Venus.
Okay, Gus, you are outside looking at the stars.
Yeah, I guess I tell Fritz that that I have a fairly intensive knowledge of the stars. So if there's any questions that he has, I can help him study.
Sure. So, despite having rained very recently, the storm seems to have blown out, and the night sky is pretty clear, and the moon is not very bright. So it's very easy to see all the stars. You can locate Venus pretty easily. It is in a reasonable area. It's not like in the wrong spot or anything.
Let's hope not.
And you note down the stars. They're correct for this time of year. Everything looks.
Is there
relatively
something
normal.
to be gathered from spending a point in astronomy?
No, not at the moment. And so, Kitty, you were looking at the mural, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, so like I said, oh well, all right. So, what do you want to use any skills or anything?
Oh yeah,
Or-
sure. Yeah, I was just letting you know what I was doing. Yeah, if we're there, Kitty, you said there's like murals all around, or is just one?
All
specific-
around the room.
Okay, yeah. Well, I want to use my art history to peruse the whole thing and see if there's any, special features I notice, things that remind me of other stuff we've seen, stuff like that.
Okay, yeah. So, so you notice in the mural, everything is, there are people fighting. There are a bunch of people seem to be revering something that is up above where from the perspective of the mural up in the sky. Several of them are holding the heads of their enemies upwards. One thing you notice is that from your knowledge of art and artistry, the background of the mural here is sort of reddish, but you can tell that it is faded a bit, and it used to be purple. The ground was purple, and there are some trees and whatnot, and those were like a fuchsia color, but they have since faded.
And does that suggest anything to me about whether it was just like the materials they might have had available for making it? Or
No,
whether it's
no,
actually-
absolutely not. In fact, these are very, very difficult colors to reproduce. It's very expensive, in fact, to try to get those pigments in the time that you assume that these would have to be produced.
See. And what, other than the like revering something above, is there anything else important going on in the scenes that I?
So as you look over the walls, you notice a strange sort of arrangement of splotches, and as you look at them, you determine that you don't think that these are actually part of the mural. They are something that has been sprayed against the wall.
Is it blood?
It very well could be.
How exciting!
It's definitely blood.
Very old.
Near the altar.
It wouldn't it be kind of surprising if it wasn't blood?
Really,
semen.
we should get some stability points back because everything makes sense.
What was
It's
the
semen.
answer
Get
about the
CSI in
altar
you.
proximity?
Sorry? Well, it's
was
very
the-
close. It's like right behind the altar.
Okay. Well, I want to. I'm going to bring this whole setup to the attention of Herr Dreckner.
Okay.
You're saying that there's an altar in the middle of the room, and there's blood stains behind it.
Yes, but these. I noticed that they were all sort of like revering something in the sky, and that you've made it your point to stand outside and stare at the sky. What's the connection? What is it we're looking for?
I don't know. Quite simply, this is a glyph for something that seems to be related to some of the sky deities in the Mayan religion, but it's not anything that I've seen before, and without an actual picture of it, then it's very difficult to tell.
So
wait.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Is it possible that these cultists are capturing people and feeding them to this monster
Yes.
Sure.
for the purpose of like keeping it around?
Maybe, but the monster didn't seem to feed on the bodies left behind at the camp. It seemed that the purpose is to harvest heads for some reason. That's the one consistency between the attack on us and the attack on the previous camp.
I think some of them were eaten.
Some of them had been eaten, but mostly by carrion animals, not to the
Oh.
extent that we had seen by the.
Oh, maybe.
Well, but the guy we left down there was just eaten. It seems.
Yeah.
Like, so.
Yeah.
But
it
theoretically,
doesn't
he
seem
was
like
a
their purpose is
cultist.
to. But it doesn't seem like their purpose is to kill to feed. Like, why would they be cutting the heads off in that case?
Wait, I don't think he was a cultist. I think he was a like pre-existing. He was a bandito.
Well, no, it's not that
don't
simple.
think so.
That's not what we got out of him before we summarily ended his life.
Well, I mean, not that he was actually a bandito, but for lack of a better term, he is somebody from here and is not one of the cultists that
Well,
came.
we need to distinguish. There are two different cults. There is the cult that was the one who sent an expedition into the woods related to Mexico City, and then there's clearly a second cult that's related to the activities at this site and the Xoxol. And he's clearly a part of the cult that's trying to preserve the area for the Xoxol and their eventual return.
Well,
He's a
why
pro.
don't we call them the religious nuts, and the cultists will be what we call the ones who preceded us down this path to the.
So
I'm
was
going to
pretty
continue
cult
calling
by
them
its-
all cultists.
Are they?
Yeah, the Xoxol cultists versus the Mexico City cultists.
But they must be related somehow.
Maybe
Right.
an inspiration, but not necessarily an organization.
Well, everyone
And one
involved.
of them decapitated the others, so.
Well, everyone involved in this cult seems both to hate everyone else involved and to assume that everyone else involved is lying or doesn't know the truth. So from that point of view, they're all one big happy family. This group seems exactly the same as every other group.
So
Right, I mean, a lot of that goes back to the way long ago point that guy Echevarria, no offense, Gus, was basically
Wait,
just like
what?
lying to everybody, and like was telling them that they were bringing about the return of the maw thing for
Mouth of the ball.
sure.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that we've talked to the people who say that he was lying, and now we've talked to the people who say that they are lying. So everyone involved in this cult says that everyone else involved in this cult is lying.
Wait, you're saying that that we've been told that the people who said Echevarria was lying were lying?
Yes.
They all think everyone else is lying.
Is that,
The people responsible for sacking the people who made the credits have now been sacked.
right.
Sick
right.
reference.
So,
yeah.
just a quick question: who here is not like deeply studying something? Is it just Damon?
Me, I wanted to hang outside and
Pee.
keep a watch out for.
He wants to see if he can
Stuff.
pee off the side of the pyramid.
Right. So,
Everybody
Damon, do you smoke?
Oh my god! Get out!
Yeah, he does.
I mean, yeah, of course it is.
All right. So Damon like sees you all like intensely studying these like murals and altars and stuff, and just pulls out a pack of cigarettes, like puts one in his mouth, and like lights it up, and like sort of leans in the door frame, looking down the stairs of the pyramid. Damon, after a moment, you hear a noise like someone running up the side of the pyramid.
All right, well, I have my gun out,
Okay.
and
Alright,
if I mean, is it obvious that someone's out, or do I think I hear it? Like,
Oh, you definitely hear someone running up the steps.
all right, so I say, guys, is someone coming?
All right. So by the way, who is? I guess you guys should have enough lamps, however many you want. Who wants to be holding a lamp? Just so I have a better picture.
I'm reading, so I need one.
Harvey needs a lamp. Probably maybe Kitty or Fritz has a lamp.
I think Kitty has a lamp to be looking at the murals.
Okay.
Fritz is holding a gun.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Alright.
guess if we're staring at the stars, we probably don't have a lamp. So
Sure. Fair enough. Okay. So Damon, you see a figure just sprinting up the stairs as fast as they possibly can. It's dark.
Okay.
It's hard to tell who it is.
I get it. I get into the doorway and I aim the gun and I say, "Stop! Stop!"
All right. Just as he enters the front of the light, you see the face of Pablo Garza, and he looks. He's got like blood, like fingerprints, like across the front of his face. You can see one of his arms is hanging limp at his side, and he like turns backwards quickly, and he says, "You gotta let me up there. It's coming. It's somewhere in the dark."
I say,
And
"Yeah,
just-
get in, Pablo."
And just that moment, you hear another scream. And Alex, you can hear that this is coming. You think it might be emanating from the direction of the entrance to the base of the pyramid?
To the base of the pyramid.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was an entrance that we didn't go in, right?
Yeah.
Underneath us.
Okay.
Because we're not idiots.
He runs up the stairs, like gets into the room and just like flops onto the floor, and like he's just like heaving from exhaustion. You can see there's like sweat like pouring down his face.
All right, I'm still looking outside, but I ask him. I say, "What the hell happened out there, Pablo?"
He says, "Me and some of the porters, we took refuge in the pyramid. We met a man or something down there. We were able to talk to him for a moment, but he seemed confused and strange, and then it came.
what came? The beast?
This thing of some sort of, I don't know. One of my companions said something confusing, but it was like a man dressed in a metal suit. It had some sort of implement, a gun, fired
Yeah, I've
beams
seen
of
that
light.
dude.
Oh shit, Kitty's right. Alright, pack it in. Let's all go die. It's no longer worth living.
Beams of light?
His eyes glowed. It was extremely strange, like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Wait, all right. Maybe. Kitty says, well, I don't know about your movies, sir, but I certainly saw something just like that when we were down there.
He says,
and it was
That's
frightening.
that's not what I saw.
We've all concluded that everyone sees different things. It's fine.
The monster appears differently to everybody.
he says, "I don't care. I just want to get out of here."
Can you lead us out of the jungle tomorrow?
He says, "Yeah, if we can live that long."
I think we've successfully concluded our quest for the previous group, so that's a positive.
We found them. We found the temple. Everything's good. Let's go.
That
Mr.
seems
Garza,
fine.
please, you should lay down, rest, and I gesture towards the altar.
What?
He says,
Come get
Go
your-
for it.
Come get your bleeding self on this altar.
Dr. Cohen, you.
he
so
says,
and so.
sure. And he like walks over, and then he stops. He says, I'm not going to sit on this. Are you crazy?"
Do you see anywhere else to sit?
The ground. Literally anything other than the altar
Right on
and the
that
disc.
circular disc thing would be
No.
fine.
Shut up, kitty! Get out!
All right, Harvey will sit down on the altar and just have a sip of whiskey.
Sure, yeah. So, do you want to like look at it?
Yeah,
There's
definitely.
plenty of opportunities for spends here.
I was pouring through the Children of the Night and Nahua Legends. Did I get anything out of that?
I'll look that up. Will you give me a moment? What do you want to do with the altar?
Just sort of examine it. Are there like blood channels running off of it?
There are absolutely blood channels running off of it, and they run into the ground. They lead to a small number of holes built in the perimeter of the large disc at the foot of the altar.
There it is.
Wow, guys.
Okay.
Is the altar of a piece with the ground, or could it theoretically be moved?
The altar is built into the ground. You would have to dismantle the room to get it out.
Sure, we
I
don't
see.
want him to lay on it.
Yes.
I'd be okay with
Why don't you lay out?
Harvey,
Yes.
you
I
get
want to.
2 dedicated pool points for any investigative ability involving Nahua Legends, Zotsul, or the Children of the Night.
Okay. Sounds
Too
good.
bad we never run into Zotsul.
Are we
in
sure
fact,
we didn't just run into him?
You find a passage linking the Zotsul script to the Mayan script.
I do.
Mhm.
What Zoxel script? Oh,
The
just in
writing
general.
that we see
linking
all
them.
around us.
Okay, just linking
Yeah.
them in general.
So you can tell from this comparison that along the walls, the original writing is Zotsul, and then it is crossed out, and Mayan is written over it, and that's crossed out, and Zotsul is again written on the other side.
Wait, these guys are.
So can I read the Mayan?
I'd say you're gonna have to spend a point of. You can read the Mayan that sounds fine. But to be able to decrypt the Zotsul, you're gonna need to spend a point of languages.
All right.
I could do that maybe.
I can also spend a point of languages. Either one.
Could I spend a point of my Zoxel?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, and I guess I'll do the Mayan. We'll work together on this.
Okay, sure, yeah. So you begin to read the inscription along the walls. It describes some kind of ritual, but what you can note is that the ritual it seems to be scrolled all around the room, and it is incomplete. There's another piece.
And what does the Mayan say?
So the Mayan seems to be basically defacing the area, talking about how, as the original builders of this temple, that the Zotsul, the Zotsul god is banished. The shame on the Zotsul people for stealing the pyramid, and so on and so forth.
I begin carving out the Xoxul and replacing it with the Mayan that's been removed.
Okay, sure.
Wait, the Zoxul was there first, but the Mayans are saying that they stole the temple?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Right. So, Kitty, as you make that leap of logic, I'm going to need you to make a stability test. You realize that as Fritz translates the words, they say that the first thing that happened was the Zotsul stole the pyramid. The second thing that happened was the Mayans built the pyramid. The third thing that happened was the Mayans took the pyramid back from the Zotsul, and the fourth thing that happened was that the Zotsul conquered the area around the pyramid and took it back from the Mayans. It seems that when the Zotsul stole it, they did not conquer the area. It seems to say that they actually took the pyramid.
So
what did it used to be?
wait, I gotta like write that down or something.
Yeah,
The first
okay,
thing
so-
that happened was first they stole it, then they
First
Well,
stole it.
I hope that Alex is writing this down because I want to see how this gets recorded in his notes.
No, yeah. Damon, write that down.
No, it's too confusing.
I mean,
First the pyramid was stolen, and then the pyramid was built.
Was built, right. And then what was the third thing before conquering it?
That the Mayans conquered it from the Zotsul,
Okay.
and then the Zotsul conquered it back from the Mayans.
Are we sure that they stole the pyramid and not like something that maybe the pyramid is built around?
Or built out of.
No, it seems to say directly that the pyramid itself was stolen.
Didn't
And it
exist.
couldn't be conceptual, as in the concept of the pyramid was stolen.
It doesn't seem to be.
I'm doing a stability test for you, correct?
Okay. Yeah, you're good.
So the ritual that's the Zoksul text describes, I get the sense that it's a sacrificial ritual.
It is. So there's actually there's a small part behind the altar that describes, a simple sacrifice to place a body on the altar and slaughter it.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of the room seems to be describing some other sort of ritual.
Okay.
I want to ask everybody if they have any thoughts around the coloring on the mural being so ridiculous. It strikes a note with anyone. Anyone historical?
I come up to see if it is blood.
Yes, definitely blood. As you inspect the altar and the channels in the floor and the spray on the wall, it's all extremely old dried blood.
How old?
Oh, you could be. You're not sure. Older than any blood you've ever seen. In fact, it's mostly just dust. Right? It's only basically left in the. It's like anything that was on the surface has blown away from time. This is stuck in the
The recesses.
Recesses of the stone. Yeah. So this could be very well ancient blood.
But so there's an implication that they stole an entire pyramid,
Yeah, this pyramid.
like a giant stone building.
Yes.
Hundreds of years ago.
That's the translation.
Before they built it.
Does it
Before it was built.
imply? Oh, is there anything to indicate how they managed this rather incredible feat? They
Nope.
take it apart.
Guys, I figured it out. This is gonna
Alright.
merge with the distant shore because we like.
Oh god.
It's a good idea.
I think that's the reveal for Live from Beyond from 2017 is that every game we've played is actually interconnected.
Same universe.
We're in the Triquetzal Kingdom or whatever it's called in Estrin.
That's the big reveal. It's happening.
Yeah.
So
Is there any way that you could move a pyramid, I guess in the time of the Aztecs and the Mayans?
Yeah, sure.
I guess brick by brick.
Like a
also,
lot of
the
slaves.
before it was built thing.
Well, again,
Well, okay, so
Well,
it's-
unless stealing it implies that they took it apart and then rebuilt it. Maybe building
Yeah.
it is.
well either that or it could be a little more. I can't think what the literary word is, but they could be more describing not this entire pyramid as it exists now, but maybe even just the altar or this room of it itself, was not always on top of the pyramid, but was the important part and got put onto the pyramid after it was built.
I mean, it was said that what it seems to describe is the entire thing, not a part, not an important thing under it.
that's the implication. Your mind's a little rusty, but you think that that's correct.
It makes sense that would be the order if it was disassembled and reassembled, yes? Because you would take it and then you would build it.
Yeah.
Well, so also you note that it was stolen by the Tzotzil and then built by the Mayans.
Right. That's what just makes
Okay.
the Mayan writing saying you stole this. I mean,
And then
sorry,
rebuilt it.
Yeah,
Question. Is it possible that we're interpreting everything backwards?
Is it possible that we have no idea what we're talking about?
No,
Yes.
I mean if we're reading it upside down, all right?
Okay.
What do you mean?
If so, if we reverse everything, then it still doesn't make any sense.
Because if we reverse it, it's you're right.
Nice. All right. If we rearrange these things in a convenient order that then makes logical sense to us.
Then
How we
boom, we're
do-
done.
All right.
I, for one, think we should go to sleep and wake up when it's daylight and leave the jungle.
Dr.
Alright,
Dreckman,
well,
what do
I'm not
we
sleeping.
know about like the timelines of these two peoples? Like, does any of this make sense?
Given that we know almost nothing about the Xoxul people on the whole, it's difficult for me to speculate academically.
We don't know anything about like their, years of operation and so on.
No. They're a pseudo cult that most people didn't even think particularly existed.
That guy we could have asked just got eaten by a conquistador.
I mean, he wasn't very forthcoming.
He was not very helpful. He really deserved to get eaten when it comes down to it.
He could have been a key.
Well, maybe I'm more curious about
were you gonna
why
sacrifice
Gorskal
him?
ate him.
Of course.
Let's go, or whoever it was. I'm just curious about why.
Let's not go crazy and start sacrificing people quite yet.
I don't think that's the
Let's
craziest
not,
thing.
let's not sink to these people's level.
Yeah. Jerks.
You just tried to put that guy on the fucking.
No, that's why we're saying Harvey is getting a little stabby over in the corner.
So we
I
didn't
never tried to stab that man.
when we came across the remains of the other expedition. Did
Sure.
we manage to get anything off of those? Did we search those
Yeah,
bodies?
you guys got a letter.
Yeah.
It is called
Two of our number investigated it.
A Letter to Jonathan Brooks.
A letter to Jonathan Brooks.
Damon, you hear a sound that sounds very slightly like stone sliding against stone.
I don't want
And sounds even more
Where's
slightly like your impending
to.
doom.
Where's it coming from?
Give me, I don't know, what kind of role would this be? I don't know.
Sense danger?
Sure, we can do a sense danger
Alright.
to figure out where the source of the sound is.
Sense some, or maybe it's trouble. I don't remember which one it is, but sense some of it. Nice.
All right, so you notice that the sound is coming from beneath the feet of Pablo Garza.
Balls. Come on.
Is he standing on the disc?
He is standing next to the disc, and you note that there's blood dripping from his arm.
Oh, great.
Is it dripping into like the channels?
Who let this
All
guy
right.
in here?
I'm gonna tackle him.
Okay.
Wait a minute. I saw it.
If you want to
And I'm
tackle
just
him,
gonna- I'm just gonna stand there and watch it. No, I mean.
Does anybody else notice? Kevo?
No,
So
just Damon.
No, so I don't think I would tackle him. I think I would just like try to like piece out like what the hell is going on.
Okay.
And Fritz, if you really wanted to, you like see me like stop in the doorway and like stare intently at the feet of this dude.
well, but if I don't hear anything, then you're just acting like Damon. So
So Damon, since you did so well in your role, you noticed that the seam around the edges of the circle seemed to widen just very not imperceptibly, but just on the edge of perception.
Take some nectar.
I just stand there. I'm like, I say, is that thing opening?
I
what?
mean, opening.
And I like point to the floor where what's his face is like bleeding all over.
Why would you think it's opening?
So now that you look, you can see that the stone it's a circle, so it's beginning to depress into the floor, and there's a seam that's beginning to open up, just maybe like a less than a centimeter along the center.
Now can I tackle him?
Sure.
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna try to move him and his blood away from this.
Okay, yeah, you like push him away, and he's like, "What's wrong? Like, what are you doing?"
You're bleeding into the blood gutters for the sacrifice, you idiot.
He says,
Cleaning into the blood gutters.
"My God."
I don't want to say that you've been possessed by an alien, but there's like a 44% chance.
44,
I'm being
that's a lot.
All right, so
Is it continuing to do its thing, or has it stopped?
it stopped.
All right, good. No one with any kind of a boo-boo is allowed to stand near the creepy circle in the floor. And I look at Harvey when I say this. And if he's making any kind of, like, maybe we want to test this out things, I'm going to knock him the fuck out.
I'm pretty sure that Harvey has the drive, thirst for knowledge.
Yeah, no, like, you say that, and as you turn to Harvey, he's got, like, a knife in his hand. He's like, what?
Harvey, why don't you not be anywhere near there for the rest of the night?
What else should I do?
Literally anything else.
Okay.
If you wanted to explore the room in the other side of the pyramid, where you go outside and walk around and go into it, I'm sure there's many very interesting carvings down there.
So wait a minute. Is this... You have to, like, sacrifice somebody up here, and that opens some kind of portal to below?
Certainly, that seems like a possibility. Does that provide any light on some of the carvings we see in the Zoxel that I'm defacing as quickly as possible?
I mean, if there's a second chamber to the altar room, it could contain the second half of the ritual.
All right, more reason never to see it.
All right, let's go.
Don't we have an obligation to try to stop what's going on here?
In what sense?
In the sense of, like, that's all we've been doing is insisting on saving the world.
No. I mean, in what sense do you foresee us stopping what's going on here? Is carrying out a potentially apocalyptic ritual stopping what's going on here? Is this...
Well, I guess it depends on which cult you believe.
Will we know really until we carry out the ritual?
I mean...
Good point, Dr. Cohen. Well thought out argument.
Oh my god, you're all insane.
Not yet.
Perhaps we have to go down and study it from the inside. You said there's another entrance to the pyramid, right?
I did say that. However many of you want to go check it out are entirely welcome to.
Well, Fritz, you'll have to come. You're the only one who can read the Mayan.
Well, isn't that sad for you?
So, Pablo...
What's Fritz's drive again?
Yeah, I was wondering that.
Survival.
At least Fritz's drive is to save the world, which is difficult to do when you're fucking dead.
It's true.
Is it
pretty hard.
Is it? You won't know until you're dead.
So, Harvey, what were you saying?
When he said he went into that entrance at the base of the pyramid, what did he describe the hallway, the room he went into? What was it like down there?
Oh, I mean, he said there was a maze of crypts.
Okay.
I mean, you can talk to me. Pablo says there's a maze of crypts down there. We met a strange man. He was dressed like a conquistador, but he seemed confused.
He spoke to you?
Yes.
What did he say?
There are many confusing things, that he was in a different place, in a different time, that his men were being tortured and sacrificed in the altar room above.
Perhaps it's some kind of spirit.
Did he ask for help?
He seemed resigned to his fate.
And he was distinct from the monster that subsequently came?
Yes.
Did he interact with the monster?
No. He fled as the monster appeared.
So maybe it is a dude, like, in time. I was like, all right, hold on. Hear me out here, Harvey, Fritz. Is there a chance that whatever this thing is can somehow travel through time? In that case, can't it just kill us all whenever it feels like?
Of course. It's unlikely, but there is a chance.
I was like, then Fritz, wouldn't that theory also make these runes make a little more sense?
If you accept a non-linear view of time, yes, it obviates any problem when you start talking about linear thinking. It also creates a host of other problems because we are being stuck in linear time, and we think linearly.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like asking if there were 700 million more colors, would it change the way we perceive the world in some meaningful way? The answer is yes, but talking about it is not meaningful.
And does this ritual here have anything to do with the... Do we have any idea what this does? Does it... Can it have something to do with this conquistadors being in a different time than when they thought they were?
You'd need the full ritual to be able to understand, perhaps, what its purpose would be.
And so the part of the ritual that's missing, is it like the end? Is it the middle? Is it like, is there a visible section of the wall that's missing?
Nope. It just like sort of goes and like stops mid-sentence. So it goes from the top of the wall down to the bottom, and if there were more wall beneath it, you assume maybe that would contain.
Does it seem like when this thing like sinks into the ground that it will reveal more wall?
Well, so you can't really tell. The seam that has opened up, you can't see through it. It's too thin.
Some way to fix that.
I'm fairly certain that my vote is against delving into the deeps of this pyramid.
Well, how did... Well, like, we heard screams, right? But...
The screams have stopped, by the way.
Well, it must have been what's his name and the remaining
Pablo's
companions, right? But so why does the monster not just come up here and eat us?
Perhaps it wants us up here.
Because of our guns.
I don't know.
That's-
From what I saw,
shoot
it
it.
seems like the bullets would have little effect.
I don't know. From what I saw, it seems like bullets would be fine.
Either way, we've come all the way here. Do we not owe it to ourselves, to the rest of the world, to find out what exactly it is that's happening out here in the jungle? Why they sent an expedition out here to seemingly die?
So you said they moved about a centimeter apart, Kev. I try to like put my ear to the ground and see if I can maybe put my fingers into the hole to see if I can move the...
Fritz slaps you.
At this point, whatever you want to do.
No, it seems to be firm. Although as you get down close, you can definitely hear someone sobbing from beyond.
I was like, there's someone still alive down there.
Maybe.
I said, do you hear that? To the group.
Tuvi?
Yeah, after everyone's quiet, you can hear a faint sobbing coming from what you assume is whatever's below the chamber.
So is it from the one all the way down or the one directly beneath us?
Directly beneath you. It's you can tell that it's just very weak sobbing, but it's very close to you. It can't be more than 10 or 15 feet away.
Perhaps somebody's still alive down there. Somebody who can tell us what's happening.
All right. Well, I mean, there's an easy way to get down there if you want to, but I suggest we have all our guns loaded before we do that.
Yeah, it's hard to shoot Pablo Garza if our guns aren't loaded.
Exactly. And
Remember the
Alcatraz.
old days when there were just strings in graveyards? Those were the days.
Those were the days. Let's go back to
Those
that.
were the days.
So I look at Damon and I say, so we need a sacrificial victim, and I jerk my thumb at Alcatraz.
Yeah, and he
Damon
jerked his thumb at
If it just
Pablo
needs
Garza.
if it just needs blood, it doesn't seem like somebody needs to necessarily die.
Damon
Yeah.
already killed Alcatraz. It's too late.
Fucking commie.
So
Well, I mean, is Pablo Garza looking more and more pale as we discuss the
Yeah.
possibility of?
yeah, he doesn't seem happy about this. but he doesn't
Does
seem
he
to be
hear
saying
the
anything.
sobbing?
What's that?
Does he hear the sobbing?
Yeah, he doesn't seem to really care.
What does Pablo want to do?
Cold-hearted.
He's just quiet.
Well, I asked
You
him,
ask him.
like, Senor Garza, what do you think we should do?
He says, "I don't think it probably matters. We've disturbed this place."
Harvey walks up with a knife and holds his hand over the channel leading into the disc and slices his palm and lets the blood drip down into the channel.
Alright, that's cool.
Okay. So the stone panels begin to sink until they are maybe 4-ish feet below you, and it opens up a path into the chamber beyond. So like you could
Before
step down.
it descends too far, I'll set my lantern on it as it descends, so we can
Okay.
kind of see into the chamber below.
Yeah, absolutely. So the next chamber you can see is sort of small, square. You can see a man huddled in the corner, and as the light comes down, he holds it up, his hand up over his eyes. And he says, "Who is that? What are you doing? Why is it so dark?"
Oh, there's a man down there.
Who?
What?
Does he
So-
still have his eyes?
He does have his eyes
And his head.
and his head. So let's take a quick 5-minute break. Okay, yeah, right. So the light comes onto the face of this man. He's balding. He's sort of thin. He's wearing spectacles. He's wearing like a jungle gear, khaki bottom suspenders and a white shirt. And you can see there's like a sort of a journal like on the floor next to him, and he sort of shields his eyes from the light.
Harvey will start like taking a rope out of his bag and lowering it into the chamber.
Start tying a noose.
Just think, Dr. Yeah.
Hang yourself with this.
Just think, Dr. Drickner, if we hadn't
I
done this, he
I
would've
yell
starved to
out,
death.
were you with the expedition?
He says, "Expedition? Yes, I'm with the expedition."
What's your name?
Sorry, actually, he's okay. Yeah, so his English is it's very, very heavily accented in Spanish.
Sí, expedición.
And then he says, Alvar.
Alvar.
Who did we have that actually spoke Mexican?
He's
Are you what?
Nobody.
it seems like he can speak English. It's just very heavily
Okay.
accented.
We can speak Spanish.
Yeah, we
Someone
speak
can.
Spanish. I do, and so does somebody else. Definitely does.
I do.
Okay. Yeah.
So
we
does he
speak
grab the
Spanish.
journal as he goes to the rope?
He doesn't make any movement towards the rope.
Okay.
You guys think you could get down? The
All right, I'll try
the
to
pieces
rappel
of the panel
down.
that have pivoted down are about shoulder height, so you could pull yourself up onto one and then stand on it, and then you would be shoulder height in the floor above.
All right, I'll like climb down.
Okay.
I'll stand on the platform but not go down just in case like it starts to come back up. I can grab you and hopefully help you back up.
All right.
Okay. As you sort of step down, Gus, his eyes go wide, and he says, "Be careful."
Why? Is there somebody else down here?
He just kind of like shields his face.
I'll begin looking around the chamber with
Say,
Gus, trying to keep an eye out.
How long have you been down here?
He looks like Gus. Now that you're down here, you can see that there along the walls there are slits, in the wall that lead to the outside of the pyramid.
Like, I mean, like all the way out. Like you can like feel like the air coming through or something
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah, you notice because you know astronomy that these slits are aligned with certain stars.
All right, I like yell up to Fritz. Like it seems like there are little slits in the wall here. I'll like call them out. Like this one aligns with
Sure.
this star, and this one aligns with this star.
Sure.
Can I make any sense of that with reference to some of the symbols that we see?
No, not really. Oh well, so actually, so I misspoke, Gus. They don't align to. So you can tell that this is like an observatory, that these slits are aligned with the night sky. But when you look out of them, they are not aligned with any stars.
Oh.
In fact.
Good.
Can I spend a point to maybe try to divine like whether there is a like time of year that like certain stellar phenomena would line up to with the various slits?
Sure.
Most importantly, is that time of year like today or tonight?
Is it right now?
So I will let you spend the point, and I will give you another answer later, possibly for the same point. But
Bullshit.
what
Point
you can
spent.
tell is that there is not a time of year where all of the slits would line up with stars.
If I like,
Not in this sky.
I guess is there any like I don't know partial alignment? I guess if I like look at all the different slits, like does there seem to be some meaning to how they're set up, or is it just to kind of cover various parts of the sky to try
It seems
get
to
us-
be to cover various parts of the sky, but you can't think of any phenomenon that would line up stars in all of the slits.
Okay.
So yeah, so he just kind of looks at you as you come down, and you can hear him mumbling something under his breath.
I say, excuse me.
He says, "Can't leave. I can't leave.
Why
Can't
can't you
leave.
leave? Who's keeping you here?
It's too dangerous."
Who
Says,
put you here?
He says, I was able to escape, but why is it dark already? Light and then dark and then light and then dark."
So it works.
Say,
Where did you escape from?
He says, "Did the others send you?"
what others?
"The expedition."
Where are you from?
He says, "Mexico City. Distrito Federale."
Yes, we were sent here by Jonathan Brooks.
He says, "Jonathan, oh, thank God. Thank God."
Come with us. It's safe now.
He says, "All right." He says, "Why is it so dark?"
It's night.
Night has just fallen. I'll have to wait until the morning to leave.
"No, that's not possible.
What do you mean it's not possible?
It was just morning a moment ago."
Nah, bro.
How long have you been down here?
An hour, maybe two.
And when did you climb in? Where were the rest of your friends?
They were attacked by some kind of creature. I ran here.
How'd
What
you end
was
up
the
under?
date?
He
What
gives
is
you,
the
I don't
date?
know. He says
What
the
is the
date.
date?
He gives you the
Yeah.
date like 2 weeks ago.
Right. Okay, that's fine.
How did you exactly end up in this chamber?
He says, I poured my canteen onto the altar.
Gus, get out!
Just
But-
your water canteen?
Yeah.
What? That would have been smarter, guys.
That would have been simpler. Yeah. Okay.
How?
Well,
But I say,
Exposed
you seem to be. You must have been in a coma or something like that, my friend. Because like today is, I don't know. I give him the date, right? Like 2 weeks later.
He says, No.
Well,
No, I can't leave. Can't leave. I can't leave.
What? Yeah,
so-
go on.
So Gus, as you're standing down there, you just notice something very strange. You're not sure exactly how, but the shadows all around the room seem to like shift and orient themselves a different direction. You couldn't describe it, but that is what like it's like almost out of the corner of your eye.
Apparently, that's the only strange thing you notice
I
in
like-
here.
Yeah, sure.
I spin around to see whether like, I guess there's like some flicker of light or something like that that would have caused the shadows to shift.
No, but you do see more writing covering the walls down here.
All right, like I yell back up. I say, Fritz, there's a lot of writing on the walls. You might want to come down here.
Does that happen after a normal amount of time has passed?
What do you mean?
The when Gus calls up for that, how long had
Oh, yeah.
passed between? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fritz, this is not ominous at all. Gus literally just told you that the writing was on the wall, and that you should like come down because everything is fine.
I'll begin reading the Zogzul on the wall.
All right. I'm going to share something with you.
All right.
Don't be concerned at all, Fritz. Everything's fine.
And
So
what's his
Harvey,
name, Alvar?
Harvey, you need to spend. This would be a good place to spend that Cthulhu mythos if you still have it.
Sure.
All right. There's something in your journal.
Hyperspace shift.
Mm-hmm.
Riding on
According to Alvar.
Well, don't worry about that part.
All right. Well, it shouldn't be there then. How can I not worry about it? That's fair.
Whoa.
Are there any other while Harvey is studying the walls, are there any other exits from this room
No, there
other
aren't.
than like where we came in?
So you could try to squeeze out one of the slits.
Body bag.
It's like big enough for
Oh.
a person.
Okay.
There's no other
Gus,
entrances. Say yes,
No.
Harvey.
can you grab his notebook, please?
The other
Journal
expedition
on the floor.
guy. Sure.
Yeah, Alvar. His journal next to him. He mentioned that there was a book on the ground next to him.
Mm-hmm.
All
All
right.
right.
I take it. I hand it to Harvey.
Book
Okay.
taken.
There you go.
Oh.
It has murdered them.
Alvar, how did you close the this dais, whatever you want to call it?
He points to like a wheel on the wall that has spokes pointing out of it.
Okay. I'm standing on it. I'll give it a kick.
Okay. So as you do, the platforms begin to raise back up towards the ceiling.
Okay. So
All normal?
I'm on them, right?
Oh, sorry. I thought you'd have to be off of the platforms in order to reach the winch.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'll kick it and let it go up, and we'll stay down here with Alvar for a minute.
Okay.
I just want to get a sense of how much time has passed.
Sure. So yeah. So you guys see the platform raise and close, and then how long are you gonna wait, Harvey?
Oh, as it closes,
So
I'm going to shout out.
Alvar begins. You can see him like breathe a sigh of relief as the doors close.
I'll shout up as they close. You can use a water canteen. Just so everyone knows.
All right.
Fair enough.
So
I already slit my wrist.
We kill Pablo Garza.
So does it
let's see,
become
we
like?
got rid of.
Is it like pitch black once it closes?
If you don't have a lamp, then yeah.
Oh, yeah. I guess we would have at least one lamp.
Okay.
I don't think
Yeah,
you can
then
go
it-
down in that hole with that one.
It seems like
Otherwise,
yeah.
I'm
Probably
not sure we would be able to see anything.
So outside, I suggest that we wait. Does anyone have a watch on?
Those are expensive, dog.
And how long do you want to wait?
Not particularly.
Harvey has a stopwatch, so he's keeping track of time as well.
On the inside?
Yeah.
All right, so Fritz will begin counting on the outside, and we're going to wait 10 minutes on the outside before reopening the chamber.
Okay. Yeah. So you reopen the chamber, and it seems that your counting is synchronized.
Okay.
I say, what did you do in there while you were in there?
Counted to 10 minutes.
No, not you, the dude.
Me?
You're right,
So-
fuckers.
Is this guy Alvar?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alvar.
Okay, I'm going to begin reading through the notes, or Harvey, do you want to read through the notes? Which one of us?
Yeah, I'm already reading through them. You can do it when I'm done. I'm almost at the end.
Is there anything else down here? There's no other like remains or. I was looking around for
Okay, right.
gear
So,
or bones or.
It's a squarish chamber with a rounded ceiling, lined with an unearthly red stone. The walls, floor, and ceiling are carved with Mayan-style glyphs. You can tell that the walls are covered in Zoltzol writing.
So the entire chamber is lined with red stone.
Yeah.
Good thing we're not playing Minecraft.
You're right.
Yeah, that's
Does
that's
it? The stone on the outside is not red, I guess.
No, not at all.
I guess not that I would know the area, but like, does it seem like the stone that this is built out of is from this area?
Is there a skill that you might use to discern it, something like that?
I unfortunately don't have geology or anything like that.
Then no, it doesn't seem like it at all.
Mr. Cohen
Right.
has geology. Maybe he can tell.
So I guess when the 10 minutes elapses, you open back up the doors.
That's correct.
So I asked the guy, like, did he do anything? Like, what did he do? What did he do while he was in there?
He says, "I've just been studying the writing on these walls."
Just laying there and crying?
He says, "I can't leave. Can't leave.
Why not?
They're all dead." He says, if I try to leave, it might shift again.
What will
Be
shift?
caught in both places at once.
What was that last part?
He says, I could be caught in both places at once. Who knows what would happen?
What other place are you talking about?
I have no idea.
Have you shifted this pyramid before?
I don't understand enough.
What have you been able to tell from the glyphs? You said you've been down here studying it for a few hours.
He says, he looks at Harvey reading his journal. He says, he understands, don't you?
I look up at Alvar and say, "Tell me, you mentioned a circuit. Do you know the circuit?"
I think I've been to some of the places. I don't know how far it goes.
And you indicate that it's possible to direct it. Why do you believe that?
Something must.
Hmm?
Something must.
Okay, well, Harvey, I mean, if I've got the key, I'm gonna turn it.
Okay. I mean,
So-
it'll take you a few minutes to perform the ritual.
Okay. So
Is he gonna...
Fritz, I believe we can use this pyramid as a mode of transport. It seems Alvar thought so. However, he's currently not in the best state of mind, as it is obvious. But that may be our ticket out of this jungle.
Can I have a look at the notes?
Of course. Do you have it shared?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'll say, why don't you share what we've learned with everyone else, and I'll read through this, and then we can decide how to proceed.
Very well. So, everyone, it seems our friend Alvar here is determined that this red stone protects you from something as you move along this conduit or circuit. It seems the Zoxel writing is actually some form of operations manual, if you will, to move this pyramid to, well, I don't know where.
What do you mean, move it?
Precisely what I say. Move it.
Like the whole thing?
Like a ship.
Stone by stone, baby.
Does it say where it moves to?
More importantly, does it say when it moves to?
I'm not sure if that's more important.
It could be,
I mean,
depending on where you go.
Or when.
True.
I go over to Alvar and ask what happened to the pages from the notebook.
He says, well, I had to see if I could leave.
I don't see the connection.
There. Somewhere else. Another place.
Yeah, but where?
I don't know.
And why did those pages get ripped out? Why was that a necessary part of leaving?
I had nothing else to use.
They were some kind of fuel?
I think he means he threw them out the window to see what would happen.
Does that sound correct, Herr Alvar?
See.
Wait, I don't understand.
Like he was scared of stepping outside this chamber because he knows the red stone protects him.
And
I'm
what
afraid our
happened to
friend
the
may have lost his mind.
What happened to the pages when you threw them out of the pyramid?
Well, they stayed behind.
And I will peek through some of the slits to see whether I see any paper on the ground.
No.
Do you mean to say that you threw them out while the pyramid was moving?
No, once it had reached its destination.
And what is that destination?
Some other place.
There are no names. How could I tell?
What's some names?
How long did the trip take?
Well, apparently. Not very long at all.
Or 2 weeks. It's,
Right.
you know.
Depends on how you look at it.
Well, so we have a couple of options here. We can either pay the ticket, take the ride, or we can bring Alvar back with us, potentially against his will, because he seems somewhat distracted.
It's better than going to the jungle.
I'm saying, like,
Is it though? Is it
I
though?
don't know.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, compared to that thing lurking about out there,
All right.
I think I might
I'm
take
gonna
my chances
suggest
on
that. I'm going to suggest that you guys read the journal with the notes, and then you can decide whether you think that this is a better situation than the monster outside, or maybe like equals.
This is Alvar's notes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's not like we went to Panama and it was lovely and there are some mosquitoes and you have to be careful of the mosquitoes, so I have netting for your bed.
Hey, you've been
It's-
reading my journal?
Yes, of course, Kitty. Why else would we keep you around? It's rather more serious than that.
say, Alva, the pages that you used
make him
for
read it?
some tests, what was on those pages?
They were blank.
Fair enough.
He says, it moves when you're not looking, you know. It knows when you're not looking. You have to keep a careful watch, or they will slip through the slits.
Who are they?
Have they done that while you were here?
Not okay.
I always look.
What happens if no one's in the room?
There is no spoon.
All right. So, what are you guys doing?
We could knock him out and take him if we want to go back, but we've come such a long way. I almost feel bad about not trying it.
We certainly have an advantage in numbers.
So,
What would be the point? I don't understand.
so how exactly is right? There's some notes that detail instructions on how to control the chamber. How exactly do you control the chamber?
Oh, there's a ritual.
But like,
What does the ritual say?
is part of it
I mean, it's a complicated series of steps involving, you know,
is
some
part of
blood
it?
and some-
I was just trying to think of do the slits somehow control the destination?
Well,
So,
From divining, well, from reading the instructions, does it give me any other insight into like why
it
the
has a
slits
pre-
are oriented in the way that they are?
So, Harvey, you know, there's a circuit. You can perform the ritual. To move along the circuit, it is less costly. If you want to travel to a specific spot on the circuit, it is more costly.
What exactly is the cost?
And I can't figure out, it's not possible to figure out what the circuit is.
Or what
No.
the cost is?
It seems to be essence.
So we have this guy. This guy's full of essence.
I'm not sure that he's got much essence left. Not gonna lie.
Will you use them up?
We got Pablo Garza.
We have Alcatraz. Alcatraz seems to be essence full.
We still have Mr. Garza's technically still on retainer. Like he's working for us. So
Jesus.
We've altered the deal.
All
right.
I'm unclear what the point of doing this would be.
To not have to walk through the jungle with that thing out there.
Stop,
Okay,
stop,
okay, that's
stop,
ridiculous.
stop. Yeah, Damon, that's just objectively wrong. This is not a trip that's going to take us anywhere that will save us from walking through the jungle. This is undoubtedly going to bring us to another dimension. And what we do there is our own business, but you're not saving yourself from walking by doing this.
I'm beginning to assume even more strongly that the mural upstairs that we're at is like depicting one of these other dimensions or worlds or whatever, and that we might not want to accidentally go there where they seem to worship whatever insane shit drives this cult.
So I'll ask Alvar, what are they?
He just kind of shudders and like closes his eyes, and like tears begin like welling up.
Did you
Are
come
they the
looking?
stars?
I said, like, don't cry. You summoned this thing.
Sorry, are you guys down in the chamber, by the way? Or are you like standing up at the top?
No,
like,
I don't think so.
shouting down.
I
at it?
guess Harvey and I are down in the chamber, right?
And I came down to read the notes, and then Harvey, I think, went up to explain to the others what was happening.
Okay.
So
I'm
Fritz
yelling
and I
at
are in the
him.
chamber. I ask Alvar, is this what you came to find?
He says, "We came seeking answers. Brooks doesn't believe that it's Narlathotep. He thinks it's Golgoroth that the lie represents. I don't know that any of that's right anymore."
Why did
What
you
do
need
you
to know
think?
this?
What's that?
But
Sorry?
why come out here to settle that question? What were you expecting to find?
He says, Vasquez found research about Chichen Tzotzil, and he thought that it might contain the answers we needed.
What do you think now?
He just starts giggling.
So
It's a really bad giggle.
This
I
guy's
will-
essence is what we need.
I will describe to Alvar in as much depth as I can what I saw outside,
Mm-hmm.
and ask whether it's one of them.
It doesn't seem to be the same. He says,
Okay. So did you see them through the slits?
yes. Yes, I did.
Do you know how a conquistador might still be here?
Do you know how a raven's like a writing disc? No. No, he shakes his head.
Well, chums, I think this is where we have to make a decision. Onward into the unknown, or back up out of this hole? You know what they say, when you find yourself in a hole, complete the ancient Cthulhu ritual and journey on the circuit.
They don't say that yet.
So my
Who's
thinking
they?
about continuing the circuit is that we know that there are other cults around the world in other locations. At the very least, following the circuit could give us a very good idea as to where they are.
I still don't think that this is what you think it is.
Okay, I have a question. Once we get to where we're going, can't we just do the ritual again to like,
Come back.
Yeah.
Yes. I think that in all likelihood, if we do this, this is a round trip in which we all lose our sanity.
What?
The old sanity carousel.
Yeah. But we might gain some kind of important knowledge.
What's
We've
with you
come this
guys?
far.
Knowledge or sanity? Can't have
The-
both.
That's right.
How deep does this chamber go? It's only like 8 feet, so it's not the bottom of the pyramid.
No, absolutely not.
And there's no exits apart from this room.
No, other than the slits, no.
I will abide by whatever the group's decision is.
The dude abides.
I think we have to journey on. First of all, I'm not too thrilled of our odds with the strange tentacle worm beast lurking in the woods. I think I'll take my chance with this chamber. And besides,
So again, let me make this clear. We are probably still going to have to deal with the tentacle worm beast in the woods, or whatever it was we individually saw.
So the problem is that, like, sorry, okay, in character, Damon's like, I don't know where this ritual will take us, but I haven't seen that, and I have seen the thing outside.
All right, nobody's listening. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills here.
why do
Alright,
you
well,
think we
what's it
still
gonna
have
be,
to
guys?
deal with it?
Because nothing in this fellow, and I'll gesture to Alvar, or this journal suggests that this is a trip that's going to somehow get us back out of the jungle, except in so much as it will put us in a different and more terrifying jungle.
Right. Exactly.
So I'm fine with the concept of exploring said different and more terrifying jungle, but I just don't think we should go there because we think this is going to somehow get us away from the monster. We're probably going to have to come back, and the monster will seem less scary because we've dealt with the monster's monster in some other dimension.
Exactly.
I'm trying
I'm
We're
worried
going
about-
off on monster training mission. All right, I think Fritz convinced me. I think we should go.
What's your question, Damon?
What about, is there a way to, like, permanently disable this pyramid from making this trek?
Nuke.
Probably, if we had enough explosives. It's what we've done every stage of the way so far, but I don't think we brought any into the jungle with us.
Didn't we? I thought we could.
Could you rig Pablo
Preparedness?
Garza to explode?
I mean, again, with enough explosives, I don't see how that improves things, but...
I'm both in and out of character. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed by the convergence of different parts of this story, most of which I only barely remember. But there's obviously some kind of
There's like a cult or something?
no. I just mean like there's some kind of coming to a head here of like the conflict between the cults and whether it's almost irrelevant or not, right? Like
Well, so
whether
them
they're all sort of accidentally revering the same thing but with many faces.
Well, them stealing the, what do you call it, from each other, right? Like, now we know how they, like,
pyramid?
steal the pyramid from each other. That part makes sense,
Do we
right?
know?
Well, maybe we do, but
Do
is,
we?
is that because like there's a million different dimensions out there, and each dimension has its own head monster, and like they're just worshiping these different monsters in different dimensions or something?
Yeah,
Like,
that makes sense.
Like but then what's the point about like basically if we just want to save the Earth instead of figuring out every detail of this, like shouldn't we just leave and return intent to destroy this thing?
That
And not use it and potentially trap ourselves in one of these like alternate horror dimensions?
Yeah, that's undoubtedly the rational way to approach this situation. Like, zero question.
All right, I say all of that in a southern accent.
Yeah, Fritz confirms that, as far as he's concerned, the reasonable thing to do here is to bring Alvaro, or whatever his name is, up out of this plate. Rig a rope to the mechanism that would close this, so that it closes once we're all up outside of it.
Sure.
Wait out the night, and then when it's daylight, try to make our way back to civilization. And then, if possible, come back with as many pounds of explosives as a gigantic donkey train can carry.
Okay.
No, I do mean a chain of gigantic donkeys. I don't
Yeah,
mean a
I
large...
particularly like that idea. The donkey part.
Yeah. Good.
Considering how hard it was to mount an expedition out here in the first place, I somehow doubt that it'll be easier if we go back to town and say we want to come back out here and blow the pyramid to smithereens.
Also, I don't know
I
if
don't
any
know that it was
porters.
so hard.
I don't know if any porters would be like, you know what, screw it.
I don't know if we really needed them except for as like,
Carry
human
stuff?
shields.
And what are you gonna do? Go back to town and say we found Chichen Sozul, but it's infested with monsters and dead conquistadors. We got to go back and blow it up.
I mean,
Yeah.
that is one possibility. I hadn't really scripted it out yet, but
Could say that.
yeah, I mean, you could. You wouldn't be a liar.
Well, would you
Well,
though?
you could say
Especially
it in the tongue of the liar.
Not one from beyond.
Right.
Would you be a
Harvard doesn't
liar
convince.
forever? But how would you phrase it?
How would you say that though?
All right, so
I think
Come on,
we
guys.
must go deeper, my friends.
All right. So, Gus is voting for continuing on to the circuit. Kitty is voting for returning to safety. Harvey.
It's not just the safety issue. I don't understand how getting ourselves like lost in another dimension furthers our cause even a little bit.
That sounds to me like a vote for safety.
Yes. Well, I'm just elaborating, but yes,
Okay.
I vote for Dr. Cohen.
We've already come so far. It seems a bit silly to just turn back now.
Harvey is voting for inertia, which is the strangest vote we have so far. Damon.
David. Guys, I just got a text from Michael. He said, "Go back and play it safe."
Definitely not.
listen. Would Damon play it safe? Has played it safe what got Damon here in the first place?
I'm
Damon's
fairly sure if
His
Richard
entire
Sterling
thing
was
is
here,
extra
we'd already be riding this crazy
But
train
I
off
think-
into the.
I think the only
Nice.
way that like Damon thinks it's feasible to like end this is from like the inside out. So I think Damon wants to push forward.
I have a proposition, I guess. His notes seem to indicate that he believes you could use the observatory to view or return to a site known to you. Is it possible that we could simply take the pyramid just somewhere safe?
Is it on the circuit?
I don't know if it has to be.
I mean, yeah, if we could. We proved to everybody it's not that hard to find the ruins of Chichen Itza. They were here in Mexico City all the time.
I mean, we could move them to like the outskirts of Mexico
Take
City.
this place back to LA.
Yeah, right. Open a restaurant. All right, are we gonna do it or no?
It looks like we have 3 votes in favor of carrying on, and there are 5 of us. And I'm gonna give you a hint: Alcatraz and Pablo don't get votes. So onward we go.
Well, they do, but they only get half a vote each, and yeah.
They can stay behind if they want.
Yeah, actually, I will make that offer to Pablo, and I'll note that it seemed to have taken 2 weeks for the previous occupant of this room to return, and he seems to have returned alive? ? And so that's what I can offer him. If he wants to stay outside of the room while we do this, then he's welcome to do so, but he may be on his own to try to return to the city.
All right, he's like only death waits in this place. If you think this can get us out, then I'm willing to
This
give
is
it a shot.
Pablo or Alvar?
Pablo.
Pablo. All right.
What does Alvar seem to think about us taking this puppy for a spin?
Alvar doesn't seem to notice what you guys are talking about.
Okay.
He's just
So
kind
he's
of
in.
kind of
He's
solid.
definitely
He's
in.
off in Never
He's
Never
definitely
Land.
Yeah, yeah.
All right,
So
let's
the next
do
question
this.
is: do we just advance along the circuit, or do we think of a specific place we want to go?
I think we conserve our essence in case we want to suddenly return to this place. Is there some way to mark this place so that we could return directly to here?
So I'm going to.
As long as you could visualize it, you should be able to.
Yeah. So when you get down, are you going down there, Fritz?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've
so
been
with
down
a few
there.
minutes of
We're all
study,
just gonna
you
have to
can,
go down there.
you get this thing there.
This here thing here.
All right, so you doing it?
I want to.
Yeah.
I just before we go down, I want to try and take in as much detail from the mural as I can.
Okay, great. Yeah, no problem.
Right. I will spend a point of astronomy.
Okay, great. Sure. So make your test.
All right. So what do I need to do? It's a stability test.
Mm-hmm.
Do I get any bonus for spending a point of astronomy?
It should say there. I think it says.
Yeah,
so I just need to roll a 2 or better.
It's a difficulty
But you
2
gotta
with
make the
astronomy.
Are you kidding me?
Well, that's what happens when you say it's
Well,
2 or
sorry.
better.
Wait, didn't you spend a point to increase your roll?
No.
Yeah.
No,
Okay,
he's-
so it's
So you
To
spend a
make it a
point,
2
and
instead of a 4.
it makes it an easier.
And I
test.
rolled
Oh.
one thing I didn't. Was
Wow.
supposed to roll.
So I
Wow.
assume nothing happens. He
All right,
doesn't
yeah.
have
So
a
so as you perform the
Alvar's
ritual,
head explodes.
Alvar starts giggling, and he says, "That's not quite right."
Yeah.
Can I mean, I have a bunch of astronomy. If we need to spend another point for another attempt.
Sure.
I can try. Oh, do I take any damage for failing?
No.
I can just try again. I mean.
Do you want me to?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you take 1 point of stability loss, actually.
Oh, all right. There it is.
As the room seems to shift and the shadows, bend the wrong way.
Do you want me to spend a point, or you want to spend another one?
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. Well, yeah, because you'd only have one, right?
Yeah.
All right. I guess Gus kind of notices that something is not quite right. He
Sure.
reconfigures it and reattempts it. And
Okay, no problem. You don't have to roll this time.
Easy peasy.
The shadows outside begin to shift, and it seems like sunlight flitters across the face of the window. All of a sudden, it becomes it shifts from day to night, and then all of a sudden it is nighttime again. You can hear chanting coming from outside. The slits still do not align to anything. And you can hear screams echoing from the chamber directly above you. The door is closed.
is the chanting in a language that anybody recognizes? Does it sound like
Yeah,
Spanish?
Fritz, you recognize it as Mayan.
It's Mayan? Okay. And am I able to tell whether it's the kind of debased Mayan that becomes Xulxul, or is it Mayan?
This is Zoltzul Mayan.
Okay.
Are the screams like terror screams or like?
They are
excitement?
screams they're like screams of fear that are then cut short.
Oh, literally.
Yeah.
I will try to, before too much happens, look through the slits in the pyramid.
Okay, great. So,
Fritz, you daredevil.
you see, it is nighttime outside, and torches line the center of the plaza. The structures around are immaculate, and the jungle trimmed back. Screams and songs echo down from the altar room above. Up the stairs of the pyramid, you can see several, people that look what you would assume Mayans look like, carrying a man dressed in metal armor, or a conquistador armor, up the steps into the altar room. And so, Fritz, you're gonna have to make a stability test.
Roger that. This all seems fairly normal to me, but okay.
It's just a regular old conquistador. I don't see what the deal is.
All right, what's everybody else doing?
nighttime, you said?
Waiting anxiously for Fritz to say what he sees.
All right, Fritz,
Yeah.
you take 1 point of stability
All right.
for your success.
I say I don't entirely understand it. It looks like we've moved back in time, perhaps. There's conquistadors and Mayans, and I'm not sure.
So it's like last week.
1538, I believe.
I guess it's possible.
Can we?
But if they're about to sacrifice someone, then that door will open, and it might be best if we are no longer in this particular time and place when that happens.
Might be true. All right.
Well, unless
Yeah.
we
So
want-
by the way,
unless
you
we-
you hear stone begin to slide against stone, and blood begins to drip down from above.
Move along.
So
All right,
All right, let's get out of here.
Gus, you
well, somebody's got to do the ritual.
Sure, I'll do the ritual. Do you want me to spend another point of astronomy?
So you can
Yeah.
spend a point of astronomy and then make a stability test. You also need to know the ritual. I think only Harvey and Fritz do.
okay? So
Well, I
I'll do
thought-
it then.
I thought Gus learned it from Harvey when
Okay.
Harvey was doing it and failed, right?
That's fine. That's fine then. Yeah, that makes sense.
Stability check, though? I don't have to make
Mm-hmm.
a check for the astronomy thing.
So you
No,
can,
you just
okay,
spent
so
four.
I'm just gonna share this with everybody. So you can. It's normally a 4-point stability test, but if you spend a point of astronomy or physics, you can lower that to a 2-point stability test.
So you don't have to.
Anyways, it looks like you did just fine.
Wow.
Okay. So the shadows shift again.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're in a different place. Gus, as you look out the windows, you see that the stars in the sky align, or the slits in the pyramid align to some sort of stars or planets outside the observatory.
Not okay.
Can I tell what stars or planets they are? Well, certainly whether they're planets, not stars.
Yeah. So as you look outside, you know that this sky is completely foreign.
Like, not
recognize
Earth
nothing
sky, or like, this is not like...
Earth sky.
Gus,
Doesn't
what
seem
did
like
you do?
we're on Earth.
Well, I'm not quite sure where we are.
Gus, why would you do this to us?
Look,
Well, because we voted for him too, unfortunately.
we could have stayed and dealt with the conquistadors. We do have guns, but you guys wanted to ride the train, so now we're here.
Pay the ticket.
Sure.
Do we hear anything?
Yes, you hear some noise from outside. Sounds like sort of distant voices. You also hear a strange noise that you can't quite place. It's not quite like anything you've ever heard before. You can't describe it.
The distant voices is it possible to pick out like any language or words?
Well, you can certainly go up and sort of look out you kind of half climb out the slits if you want and look around.
Sure.
Half
definitely will.
climb out. Wow.
Yeah, let's have a.
So who's going?
Harvey.
I'll go.
Fritz is a little shaken. He's going to stay behind for the moment.
Okay. Here we go,
In the
boys.
car.
All right. So who's going to the slits? Harvey and Gus? Gonna
Yeah,
separate
sure.
ones?
Well, is
Okay,
it
so,
possible to? I guess are we trying to wiggle our way out through the slits, or should we try to like open the door to the chamber above, assuming it all works the same way?
I think you're just looking out, right, to see what's.
You guys all gonna die.
There's things out there.
I thought we were trying to get out.
Oh, I don't. Oh, okay. I thought we were just trying to see what's out there. Well,
No, we're
if
just
you were
looking,
trying to get
scouting.
out.
We're just scouting. I don't think it's safe to leave this chamber.
Fair enough.
Okay. So who's doing what?
I mean, if
Me and
there's
Gus are
nothing,
going to the-
right? I looked out. I see a foreign sky. Right? Is there anything else to see out of the slits?
Yeah.
All right.
You were just looked sort of like directly at the slits. You can kind of climb up there and look out, poke your head out or something.
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay, so immediately you can see that the sky is dominated by a gigantic orangey red planet.
Not
It
okay.
takes up about 3/4 of the sky. You can tell that there's something else up there. As you look around, you see that the plaza exists around you. However, the ground is purple, and the foliage around you in this sort of jungle is a fuchsia color. There are people milling about. There are some, like, you can see some children playing ball in the ball court nearby, and the air not far above your head seems to evaporate off of wherever you are in whirls of white smoke.
These children, they're human children.
Yeah.
Now that I'm out here, can I hear like more distinct voices?
Yeah, you can hear more distinct voices. You also hear the noise, the indescribable noise coming from up above you.
The voices of the people, are they in a language I understand?
No, they sound similar to the ones you heard before.
But I
By the way,
say,
take a stability test. You can hear the sound more distinctly. It sounds like a cross between a song and a sucking noise.
Oh, so familiar.
I got a 6 on my stability.
Okay, you're fine. You only take 1 point of stability loss.
Really wish I
Don't
had
worry,
my
guys. I
map
still
with
have
me.
2 points of stability left.
Nice.
It's better than me.
You want to borrow my source of stability? Senor Alcatraz.
And sacrifice
We should have all
them?
thought to bring our stability with us, or our source of stability with us. So actually, one of my pillars of sanity is the laws of physics. So hopefully that holds up here.
Oh, it's all gone.
I'm pretty sure.
Shredded.
Sorry.
I guess I
happens
relay
after it
back down the slit to the others what I hear and see, and then I try to see if I can figure out what is making this strange sucking noise.
Okay. So, as you peer up, you see that there is something huge on top of the pyramid. A huge frog-like body sucking at the pyramid's peak with a gargantuan mouth. With numerous jaguar-like eyes, it scouts the night sky beyond. Long-toed feet drape down the sides of the pyramid. One directly past you, you notice. A dozen amorphous serpents seem to dangle from the frog-like mouth, as if trying to escape. You, my friend, let's make a stability test.
Dude, it's Gogsamall.
Goes my last 2 points.
It's Gogsamall.
That's not good.
That's bad. That's real bad.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Oh, you got a 3 there?
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay, yeah, you're going to take 6 points of stability,
Whoa!
and that is going to lower your sanity by 2.
Puts me at a -6 stability, by the way.
Right, that's what puts your sanity in.
That's gonna do some pretty. intense
Lowers my
stuff.
sanity by 2, you said?
Yeah. So yeah, I was looking at the rules. When you go below -5, so when you go below 0 sanity, you take a point of when you go below 0 stability, you take a point of sanity loss. When you go below -5, you take 2 points of stability loss.
We're also supposed to lose sanity almost all the time when we use Cthulhu Mythos.
Oh well, that's fine. Don't worry.
All right, so I guess Gus kind of is silent for like a half a minute, and then you hear a loud, piercing scream as he scrambles back down the slit.
I think
Well.
that's the signal to get out of here.
Okay,
So
Harvey
Gus-
will start the ritual.
Gus, on a scale of 1 to the monster in the woods, do you believe me now?
Oh yeah, now's the time to say I told you so.
Yeah, you say I told you so when the guy goes absolutely insane because he was like, this is better than the monster in the woods, and you're like, no, probably not. And he's like, no, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Gus
So, yeah,
just
what-
kind of crawls to a corner of the the room and sits there quietly rocking back and forth.
Alvar,
While- While Fitz is
Yeah.
barraging him. He's like, you see? You see?
Yeah.
all right, Harvey's gonna start the
You
ritual.
can just hear Alvar sort of giggling in the corner.
All right, Harvey begins the Zuxul ritual and tries to transport us further along the circuit.
Okay.
Pass.
Okay, great. All right.
Do I lose the stability for that?
No, you passed. Oh, sorry. You need to spend every time you pass the ritual. Oh, maybe this would put Gus even further down. But every time you pass the ritual, you need to spend 2 stability or 4 health.
Every time you pass.
We'll say that Gus spent stability and now is even further in the hole, which is
So,
fine.
how much am I supposed to spend?
Jesus Christ.
Just
Oh,
I think 2.
So
You're-
that
Negative
puts me
how
at
much?
-10.
Wait,
Oh, wow.
Gus, Kim, what did you spend the first time? Because you rolled 1d6 plus 2.
I spent
I think
stability.
But it's a 2+ test if you spend the astronomy, which you did, right?
No, but I didn't have to roll for that. I thought it was just a separate stability test.
You didn't have to roll for the first one.
Yeah, I didn't make him roll for the first one.
Okay, I'm confused. But for the second one, he rolled the 1d6 plus 2.
Right,
And
it's
if
2
you
points
spend-
ability test. Right.
If
You're
you
right.
spent, right. So I think the 2 points were basically already spent.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. So, anyways,
Put myself back at -6. Feel so much better, guys. Thank God. Everything's fine.
So the shadows shift again, and you can see out the slits is a blue sky with clouds.
Oh,
But it's
good.
day.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, with clouds. However, the clouds are purple and black.
Oh,
Close.
So
You
I
can
believe
hear
that-
rain drumming on the outside of the pyramid.
I believe that it's somebody else's turn to look outside.
Yeah.
and a growling roar echoes from high above you.
Maybe-
Yellow-green lightning dances amid the rolling thunderheads.
As
Actually,
everybody
maybe
else-
the drivers shouldn't go out.
All right,
I was
looks
just-
like it's down to Damon and Kitty, and I guess Alcatraz and whatever. I don't know.
Fucking Alcatraz. Fuck it. I'm gonna make Alcatraz look out there.
Or,
So, well, who's looking out?
Alcatraz.
Who's looking outside?
I'll look out. I'll do it.
good looking out.
Okay. So as you look outside, you can see twisting in the jungle are what appear to be tendrils, and as you stare at them, you notice that these tendrils are tongues snaking from mouths that have erupted from the ground
We're used to
every
that shit.
8 to 12 feet.
Yeah, it's fucking old news.
As you notice,
How much nectar are we talking about here?
as you notice, the rain is not actually water. It's a thin yellow liquid,
Oh no.
and as it like touches you, you notice that it's boiling hot.
Is it like hot nectar?
You need to make a stability test too.
All right.
He comes down screaming.
Kenny's just like,
Come
all these
join
places
me.
don't seem that great.
This seems like
I
a
rolled-
long circuit, guys.
I rolled a 7.
All right, so you are just going to take 2 points of stability loss.
Oh, only. Everything is fine, guys. This is fine.
So what are you going to do, Damon?
I stumble back and I'm like, this isn't it. This isn't it.
Do you see any people, Damon?
There was no people, right? I was like,
No.
no people.
It looked exactly the same as the place that you came from. Right,
Like
the buildings
ruined?
were not immaculate anymore. They were ruined and whatnot.
Definitely no people.
All right, then. I think it's time to move on to the next spot on the circuit.
Or do we want to go back?
Yes, please.
I mean, from what I can see of the ritual, it's twice as difficult to go back as it is to simply continue moving along. Can we
Yeah, but
get any idea of how many stops there are on this circuit?
I don't think so.
You think there are 3 more?
Oh, wow. Okay, that's not
people's
bad.
brain cells are dying out here.
So then,
All right,
it's
then yeah,
3
fine.
to 2.
No,
right?
yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so I will take another stability check.
Well, are we going to run out of astronomy here?
I haven't been spending it. I didn't spend it for the last one. I don't have
He's just
astronomy.
been
for this.
rolling good.
I have
Okay.
one more point.
You shouldn't be doing any. I mean, I guess you could do a health check.
No, you can actually. Yeah, you can't spend investigative abilities when you're below 0
God.
sanity or stability.
Gus says, like, I feel fine, guys. I
Yeah,
think
you're clearly insane.
I think I figured out how to drive this bus. Just let me, please.
He's the
Gus
pilot,
bus.
guys.
The Gus bus.
Gus, no.
All right, so what do you guys do?
Bus, bus.
I'll take us to the great frog mouth in the sky. Just let me in.
Yeah, we want to
Someone
go
hold
back.
down
We
Gus.
want to go back, but we want to go back to that one where Goksamal was.
It's the Gulksamal place. Okay.
I've seen the truth.
The Goksamal. That place is awesome.
We have
You
to
have
save
to
the
go.
children.
All right, so
All
what
right.
are you guys doing?
We do have
I think we continue along on this pain train.
Okay, someone rolling it.
Yeah. All right.
Oof.
Okay. So I
It's
lose
awesome.
stability or
Oh,
sanity?
Yeah, you lose 1 stability.
Stability. All right. Okay.
As no one else has any, maybe we should go back if no
So
one else
as
has any.
as I'm doing this last one, I'm gonna spend stability and
Okay.
visualize the first stop in the circuit, our
Okay.
dimension.
Okay.
So I'm gonna spend 2 points of stability.
Okay.
Roll up that one. Beautiful bean footage.
Why?
Damn,
All right.
man.
You take another
Why
6
did
points
you
of
do
stability.
that?
You see what Goxamal just did to us, man?
Why did you do that? All right, I'll do it again. So I lose 1 stability. I'll spend 2 more.
Guys, we
Do it
can't
again.
stay here.
All right, I did it.
Okay. As you complete
Ugh.
the ritual, the shadows begin to shift one way, and then all of a sudden you can all feel a presence take control of your destination.
Oh, good. Is it Harvey?
So,
Harvey's not here anymore.
as the shadows shift,
Frost?
the roof of the pyramid disappears.
Ugh.
See around you, the same place that you saw before Gus. The ground is red, or well, the ground is red or purple, and but there are no there's no foliage.
No fuchsia foliage.
No. The structures of Chichen Itza stand in ruins. Am I reading the right one?
No.
Yeah. On the horizon, the huge green flames of an unearthly forest fire cast ultramarine hues that sear the eyes across the red alien foliage. A vast field of smoldering ash shows where other fire has recently ripped through the area immediately around Chichen Itza. The landscape is pockmarked with craters. In the night sky above, a vast purple, the vast gas giant hangs in the air in the middle of brilliant white stars. In the center of that impossible mass, a giant eye is the only way you could describe it, gazes down. Or perhaps it is multiple eyes, twisting away in fractal eddies which dance among the gases. Or a black hurricane which tears apart the world above, its implication of destructive forces beyond the ken of man seeming to sweep low across the landscape before you. In the plaza of Chichen Itza, what seems to be a corpse of the creature you saw before, Kim, lies half buried in the ashes. A fatty, frog-like body with too many tails, gathered under tattered black wings. Its mouth gives off steam in the cold. It slurps up ashes and bones with its serpent-headed tongues. Smaller versions of the same creature cling to its body like suckling bats. So as you appear, you see several creatures in the peek up their heads from the foliage or the ashes around. They look somewhat like panthers, so they have several tails, and instead of heads, they have sort of cylinders with yellow eyes all the way around. And they peek up their heads as soon as you arrive. So everybody's got to take a stability test.
This guy and his stability tests.
I know,
Can I
right?
pass this one?
Can I spend points if I'm already negative?
No,
Come on.
no, you can't.
Come on.
I've seen worse shit than this.
So actually, though, Gus, you've already seen most of this, so I'm gonna say you're probably actually just about exempt. And it looks like everybody else made it, except for Kitty Kennedy. Kitty, you're gonna take 3 points of stability loss.
So if we make it, we don't take anything?
No.
Whatever.
All right.
This is fine.
So these creatures, as soon as they see that you've arrived, they begin charging towards the pyramid.
I say, Doc Harvey, I think it's time that you do that thing again, and I get out a gun and if they get like within range of the pistol, I'll start popping off shots at them.
Okay.
Fuck. All right. So if I spend 1 stability to put myself at 0 stability, like that's it, right? I can't.
Right. That's it.
But either way, if I fail, I lose it, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
What the fuck just happened?
Or you could succeed and keep it.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah, do that
yourself.
one.
All right.
Do that last one.
Don't worry, otherwise I can do it.
I'm visualizing home again, the same place.
So,
But you said
oh.
something disrupted us, right?
Yeah. As you begin the ritual, you feel that you are anchored here for the moment. I'll let you spend the sanity or the stability.
Uh,
All right, Harvey.
it's not working. It's something's wrong.
So as these creatures reach the base of the pyramid, they slide to a stop. Red dust sort of floating up around them. Their heads swivel towards the corpse in the middle of the plaza, and you can see one of the lids on the toad-like eyes begins to slide open. So the bat wings begin to flutter upon its back, and the aspect begins to rise up through the air, shaking ash off of its body, pluming pouring off of it. It sort of raises up, floats before you, and then lowers its bulk in front of the pyramids, exposing you to its girth. It's gigantic. It's at least as wide as the pyramid and several times taller.
Oh, good.
Along the center, a huge lid dilates open, and a huge unblinking eye, reflecting all the lust, abysmal greed, obscene cruelty, and monstrous evil that has stalked the sons of man since their ancestors moved blind and hairless in the treetops, looks down on you. In that gaze is mirrored all the unholy things and vile secrets that sleep in the cities under the sea, that skulk from the light of day in the blackness of primordial caverns. Lightning bursts from its iris. Everybody make another stability test.
Uh-huh.
Aaron,
Come
you
on,
might
come
have
on.
been right.
Damn it.
I got a 4.
Fuck you all. I'm fine. I saw this coming.
All right, Aaron, you're going to take 2. Damon, you're going to take 4. Kitty, you're going to take 4. Harvey, you're going to take 4.
How many do I
So-
take, sorry?
If you failed, you're going to take 4.
What is
But
it?
I already think you're bottomed out, basically.
I think Kitty might be
pass?
dead.
Is a 4 a failure?
Oh, no, sorry, 4 is a success. You only take 2.
Nice.
When you pass the threshold of 0, you lose 1 sanity.
Yes, that's right. Okay.
But also, do you lose sanity for like how much you've lost in total in a short amount of time, or something like that?
No, so once you pierce the veil of 0, you lose 1 sanity. Once you go below -6, you lose another sanity. That's like kind of the most you can lose.
Right.
On
There's
any
like
stability.
shock or something that you can have come into play when you lose a large amount of stability, though, right?
Sure, yeah,
Like
no, we're okay.
there's-
So, you feel the creature, the presence, rummage through your minds, tossing through memories. You also are all connected. You feel yourselves intermingled and intermixed. He paws through your mind and your memories and your identities. After a moment, you begin to get the idea that there's an attempt at communication.
Jace wants to talk.
So,
I will take some nectar and put it under
But
my
you-
tongue.
okay. So, it's almost impossible to even move. Oh, we're supposed to
Oh,
change
okay.
your mind is this thing's mind is so much more than yours that like you are barely able to even control what you're doing as it bores into you. Okay, so Damon, tell us about the worst thing you've ever done. Give us a scene.
Oh my god. Conscious or unconscious? Like,
The worst thing you've ever done that Damon Smoke has ever done.
alright. So, there was this one time where there was a case of like a missing child. And Damon was like following up on it. And as he ended up walking essentially into what seemed like a really they were making moonshine, right? But all of them were either drunk or on some sort of drugs. Damon's not sure, but there was a kid that was like huddled in a corner with her leg like in an iron chain, and as Damon like came into the house, some guy picked her up and he was like, "If you come any closer, I'll shoot." And Damon wound up a shot and took it, but it ended up hitting both the child and the guy, instantly killing both of them.
All right, great.
So it's everything that Damon
All right.
lived down.
Yeah,
It's
you,
kind of bad.
you get the clear sense that this entity is holding each of you up to the light, inspecting you, rummaging through you. Harvey, what's in? It can be pretty short. What's the worst thing you've ever done?
So a lot of things come through Harvey's mind, notably all the chemical compounds that he's created over the years and all the bodies and the souls they've taken. But that doesn't seem to bother him nearly as much as the relationship with his father. He sort of, out of pride, shut out his father completely, and that sort of bothers him much more than, creating mustard gas and greatly influencing the death toll in World War I. That was all in the name of scientific progress. But really, he feels like he slighted his father, specifically when he didn't invite his father to his wedding.
Okay.
Whoa.
That's not good, man. Come on.
You feel wrung out, stretched over and wrung out again. This creature, Golgoroth, you guess, has rummaged through your minds and seems to have some sort of tenuous grasp on the buttons that make up your psyche. In some sort of way, it attempts to find out what you desire. Gus, Kim, what does Gus desire most in life?
So fuck?
Well, so he, I guess there are like flashes from his adulthood, his relationship with his father on the farm, and later at the wanting to become a test pilot, kind of being free. But what immediately kind of overshadows all of it is his newfound desire to find out what his true origins are, who his parents really are, and how he
Murdering
he's involved with
cultist
all this.
rapists.
All right.
Yeah, that's what's up.
All right. So you get the feeling that Golgoroth wants to know what you want. All of you.
Do we answer one at a time?
You should, I guess, come up with an answer in some sort of gestalt fashion.
Kitty wants to tell you the worst thing she ever did because she just came up with it a minute ago.
Well, everybody would know. You've all seen the worst things that you all have ever done. So if you want to share it real quick, you can go for it.
The worst thing Kitty ever did was an off-Broadway show called Out of the Frying Pan and Into the Fryer about a troubled youth who finds comfort in a monastery.
Okay, good.
Boo.
Yeah, that was bad.
Oh, come on!
Okay, so what do you want?
Well, what Kitty wants has always been clear to everyone. Kitty wants her name up in lights. She wants the name Kitty Kennedy to be on the lips as a household commodity, much like Olivia blah 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 blah.
So, whatever.
Learned him.
You expect as Golgoroth rummages through this part of your mind that you should be embarrassed, that Golgoroth would judge you. But it seems that this is of no more consequence than anything else he has found.
Okay.
All right. So, like I said, it seems clear to you that Golgoroth wants to know what it is that you desire. What it is that you want.
I hate to be the practical one here, but I would like for us to get back to civilization.
Typical German efficiency over there.
And to have won the lottery when we appear there.
I mean, all things are possible once we get back. If we're stuck in this universe or timeline, I don't see how anything is particularly possible.
Like
Okay.
Gus can't get off of his desire to know who his parents are and how he came to be adopted by his quote unquote father.
I guess what Fritz will try to do as his portion of the Gestalt is convince everyone that to get what they want, the first thing they have to do is get back.
Okay.
So I want to save the world, or I want the world to be preserved against things like this, but I can't do it from here.
Okay.
Damon wants all these things gone from the world. So if that's how,
So, Golgoroth, you can see a vision of one of you stepping forward to the front of the pyramid, and then a huge tentacle shoots out of Golgoroth, impaling that person, and raises them up in the air, outside of the safety of this chamber. Then the chamber begins to disappear with the rest of you inside it.
That's nice. It's a he. So Kitty.
Oh well, it's a figure. You can tell that it is
Damn it.
representative of.
It's Alcatraz.
Finally, Kitty, your boyfriend has a good news.
It's Alcatraz. Everybody knows it.
He doesn't seem to care. He just can't let you off.
What does Alcatraz want? Since we're all mind linked.
Well, Alcatraz, he only wants two things. He wants to make you happy, Kitty, and he wants everyone to live together in equality.
So everyone equal, and Kitty a little more equal than everyone else.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Nice.
We can't
Nice.
kill Alcatraz the communist. That's no.
No, we can.
He's too funny now.
Sometimes you got to take one.
It's
I mean, we're
really
kinda-
good that he bought
we're kinda-
David Smoke.
Aren't we kind of done with Alvar?
I don't think this is a situation where we can push someone forward. I think it has to be an
Is
actual
someone
volunteer.
like, clicking a pen or something?
If they were, they stopped him.
Yeah.
Called out by David Smoke.
Okay. Do you guys want to ask Golgoroth anything else?
Yeah, can Kevin the GM be the one who approaches the pyramid?
Sure.
Golgoroth. I mean, okay. So who was Golgoroth supposed to be? Which cult thought that Golgoroth was like the thing?
What?
I think
Yeah, that's
Golgoroth
a good-
is another name for Goxamal, isn't it?
Well, that's the
No,
question.
I don't think it is.
Well, you can ask questions if you want.
Are you Goxamal?
Your vision floats upward for a moment towards the gas giant. All of a sudden, it swings back around towards the place where you are. This purple orb in the sky is what you're showing.
So that's Golxamal.
So you're just not gonna answer our questions straightforwardly, are you? I ask. You're gonna be one of those.
No. So you get the feeling that this creature is so far beyond you that it is using your memories to communicate with you, because you could not be able to even begin to understand what it.
All right, so I want to conjure up in my memory, like my strongest feelings and thoughts about all the tentacles and the orgy that we saw in LA, and all the pain of being shot as Richard pushed me in front of that bullet, and all that, and I just want to bring that up in my mind, and as simply as I can illustrate that and just ask why.
Okay. So as soon as you begin to think of the tentacles and the mouths, your subsequent thoughts are totally overwhelmed. All of a sudden, you see yourself on a stage, and you are talking with everyone else here, and then all of a sudden you realize that Gus is instead not Gus. Gus is another creature which is wearing a mask, which has Gus's face on it. Then you look around again, and you see instead it's Harvey that wears the mask.
Who?
Then you look Harvey who wears the mask. Then instead you look around, and it's Damon that wears the mask.
That's true.
You feel nothing but hatred at this creature who moves throughout the cosmos, stealing the names of those greater than it, hiding behind their legends.
So this thing's like a pretender.
Well, it is the
tentacle.
liar.
Yeah, but
You hear Alvar speak aloud. The liar has usurped my place, stolen my name, worn my power as slander.
okay. So let's back up for a second. So Echevarria, whether he was just lying or misunderstood, he thought that he said that they were bringing about the liar for what? To end the world? What was his point? Does anybody remember? All right, nobody does.
So I will try to ask Golgoroth what it wants.
So you see again the same stage. All of a sudden, you look to your right and you see Kitty there. But instead, it's actually something else wearing Kitty's face. And all of a sudden, it falls to the ground, blood extending in a pool around it, a knife extending from its back.
You want to destroy the liar. And
Well, either that, he really doesn't like Kitty Cat.
what happened here?
So you your vision turns upward towards the gas giant, towards the eye, towards the hole. In a vision, every atom of you is smashed apart and reduced, one at a time, to absolute nothingness. And in the soulless echo of that nothing, a name is heard, to the absence of it being spoken. And only Fritz is going to hear this.
Not
I'm sorry.
cool.
What was the question that you asked for?
What it
happened
wants.
here?
Oh, what happened here? That's right.
And you are
I
going to
see.
gain a rank of Cthulhu Mythos.
Okay.
Okay, what else?
I'd like to ask, is there something we can do to kill the liar?
Fritz, what is the
Yes.
greatest lie you've ever told?
I'm a
Probably,
doctor.
probably when Harvey asked whether I knew anything about what was happening in Germany.
Okay. So the Golgoroth. So you. Sorry, what was the question exactly? You want to know how to kill it? You said.
How to kill the liar.
How to kill the liar? Yeah.
So you see a subterranean cavern. There is there are people sort of like heaped about in orgy. However, there are no mouths. At the center of the cavern, a massive bloated body sits, quivering. It has tendrils extending from it into the ground.
Is this in our world?
You get the feeling that it is, yeah.
And what will happen when the liar dies?
You see the scene from the end of Return of the Jedi.
I mean, the original version?
The,
Yeah,
like,
which scene?
the Ewoks like partying because they won.
Jump, jump.
Yeah.
Jump,
is it
jump.
Hayden
The
Christensen, or is it-
fireworks in the Endorian sky.
Yeah, so Gus, all of a sudden, you get a memory of. Sorry, was Gus was in a war, or no, he wasn't in the war.
No.
So you get you see a TV in a blank room showing a black and white picture of like a ticker tape parade in New York City at the end of like World War II.
World War II
doesn't happen
happens in
yet.
like
Oh,
10 or
World War
15
I,
years or
whatever.
something like that.
Well, it's
Your mind
it's the future. It's already happened.
You're like, shit, there's gonna be another one.
right.
I mean, can we?
Can you help us?
Is there anything about that cavern though that we recognize, or like that is helpful?
So as you think that, a phrase appears in your mind. The maw of the mouth lies within the devouring mountain.
Isn't that where we were going to go before?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's.
Wasn't
I
that-
mean, we've known about that previously. That was part of what we had
That we saw that in like outside of the underground recording studio, right? We were.
Yeah, that was one of the things that was written down.
in
Is there
my-
any way you can help us to defeat the liar?
Within all of your brains is burned a spell called Summon Aspect of Golgoroth. I will share it with you next time.
Okay. Well, I think then we can return.
Yeah, can you send us back with all of our stability intact?
So you you get an image of you at the general store, and you are just about to leave when you realize you've forgotten to go visit the cash register.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's fine.
Someone's gonna die.
You've never... Come on, Golgoroth, you've never shoplifted?
You get the feeling you see a king sitting on a throne with peasants like lined up out the door, bringing him gifts.
What do you want?
Why... Do you think someone else can defeat the liar for you?
You see a vision of a man. He's standing. He's standing in a cage. The door is open, but he does not leave.
All right. Anybody?
So do we just leave?
No.
I asked him what sort of gift he wants.
Oh, you see the vision again of all of you standing in the temple, one of you stepping forward and then being impaled.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was a vision. All right.
Yeah,
Pablo Garza.
For a moment, Golgoroth leaves your minds. You all fall to the floor, and after a few moments, you are able to regain your wherewithal separately.
Fritz says, well, I suppose if someone has to take the hit for us to get back, then either we need a volunteer or we need to draw straws.
Well, personally, I think it should be the guide, no?
I don't think that we can sacrifice someone against their will.
Sure we
He
can.
should
It's
be
called
one of the
being
people to draw straws because he
But we're
came with
paying
us.
him.
Yeah. All right. Drawing straws seems fair.
All right.
We're
Well-
rolling dice, whatever.
Well,
Perhaps that's fair.
Okay.
is it possible to just offer Pablo Garza to Gloxamal? Because in Harvey's mind, Pablo and Alcatraz are not working towards the goal, so they are completely expendable. And if any of us were to get sacrificed, that would severely hinder the progress of what we were working towards.
Sure.
So, in Harvey's mind, he's thinking Gloxamal, take Pablo, take Pablo, take Pablo, take Pablo, take Pablo.
You're like trying to like.
Unfortunately, Pablo's like, take that guy, take that guy, take that guy.
Yeah, it's fine. When we all stand in line up, let's all just like take a half a foot back.
Start trying to pick-
Leave him like standing forward.
So,
So do we draw straws?
I guess you must have something you could draw straws with.
We have dice.
Oh, come on. We've got a gigantic semi-omnipotent being. Don't tell me it can't give us straws.
Do you have a random number generator?
Straws.
I mean,
Straws
like,
are
pure-
so far beyond it.
It's not there yet.
Random? What do you mean?
Pure
random?
Anyways,
random.
uh,
Pure random is really hard.
That.
Gus Gus says, I'll do it.
Okay.
Then you'll never find out about your.
Or maybe that'll be his reward.
Okay. So you step forward.
Yeah, I step forward.
Alcatraz pleads with you not to.
Kitty
No, he
doesn't.
doesn't. He doesn't. Yeah, no, no, Kitty doesn't.
I know. I think I know how Alcatraz would do it. But anyways, okay. So Gus begins to step forward towards the what you can tell is the barrier of the observatory. If anybody wants to do anything, now would be the time.
All right, yeah. I'll try and shove the weakened and damaged Pablo Garza through the shimmering
Oh my
barrier.
god!
Are you
This
going?
guy.
Sure. Okay, you can roll scuffling.
Oh, that's not a good idea for me. then he'll sacrifice himself, and I'll just be there with this guy that hates me.
He like dodged out of the way, and you'll just fall out.
It'll be like that time that K4 tried to push a child over a railing.
Yeah.
Yes,
bounced
it will.
off.
Ugh.
Be careful,
That
the
was so
child might
bad.
overpower you.
That was ridiculous.
That was my favorite.
All right, I'll try it. All right, I'll spend a point of scuffling. And
Okay.
say, no, Gus! Actually, or should I throw Pablo? Or not Pablo, Alcatraz.
Then Kitty will know.
Alcatraz is like healthy and hale.
Yeah, that's right. Pablo is. We're not even sure if he'll make it out of the jungle. So that's fair.
Seems
Of
like
course,
the kind of guy
Pablo's
who would
also our
die for the
guy.
collective.
Pablo's also
we
our
know
guide, so.
We've come one way. We can get the other.
Look, he like got us lost, drove us into an ambush, and then screamed.
Oh, for fuck's sake. All right, go ahead.
All right.
Make your attempt. Oh god.
All right. So Gus starts to step forward.
Holy shit, Harvey!
All of a sudden, Harvey pushes Pablo, who stumbles outside of the barrier of the
The
observatory.
redstone.
Gus, you're standing right there. You see the tentacle begin to swing down in front of Pablo, who has a terrified look on his face.
This,
You have a moment to do something if you'd
so
like.
wrong.
I have time to pull him back.
Yeah, if you want, you can pull him back. You can jump in front. You could.
Kitty
not do
screams.
anything. Okay.
Yeah, Gus will try to jump in front. Says,
Oh my
no,
God.
it had to be a volunteer, and he jumps in front of him.
Did it?
All right. So Gus leaps in front, and a gigantic tentacle. As the tentacle shoots forward, a yellow talon sort of pulls this gray skin pulls back from a yellow fang, which stabs Gus in the chest and raises him up into the air. Pablo rushes back inside the observatory, and the shadows begin to shift around you.
Well, this is awkward.
Yeah, it is.
Hopefully he dies.
All right.
That was awful.
So, we can cut the rest short because we're already pretty over time. You,
Are we?
yes, you're quite.
Only about now.
The pyramid begins shifts back, and you can see the blue sky outside. Pablo leads just to go quickly. Pablo leads you through the jungle, and you come back to find two trucks parked near on the road. You try to hotwire one, but it's not working. So you take the other truck out, which you need to drive just off the side of the road to get it out.
Our driver's been,
It's a truck.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
So
And
is this the truck that was left there? So we got here. We're okay. I got it.
yeah.
So I have a question. How much does Pablo hate Harvey?
Like a lot.
All right, yeah.
That's fine.
I guess I can drive.
Like as he
Yeah,
led
drive-
us back, he tried
Driving
to
it-
get Harvey
driving's not
killed a few
an issue.
times.
The point here is that you take the truck that you had found that was missing before when you got here in the first place.
What?
So
Back
when
in time, boys.
you are leaving before you arrived.
Ah, okay. I think I missed that session, so I didn't know.
Oh,
Yeah,
fair
there
enough.
was-
fair enough.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's gonna do it for the Yucatan. I guess Kim we'll find out. We'll figure out what you're doing for next time. But
I
we
think
got
should
some
go
time
to
together.
New Vega
Become
again.
one with the
Doesn't have to be
great
on
old
screen.
ones.
Yeah.
Sure, fair enough. Well, that was it.
So sorry, just out of curiosity. So we've arrived back before we left, and And like, are we gonna go back into town and fly away or something? Like,
No, we're gonna go. We're gonna go into the jungle and save Gus.
No, I'm just.
We arrived
I'm
before
just,
we left.
well,
Didn't you
right,
hear?
have
so
to
that's-
go
that's
deeper.
actually-
Oh,
well,
so
that's actually kind of what I'm wondering because, like, all right, not to make it drawn out, but like, is there us here, like, sitting in our hotel right now, preparing to go out the next morning or something like that?
yeah. So you the last vision that Gokusamal leaves you with is that is a vision that in no uncertain terms lets you know that if you come back to Chichen Itzul, you will die, and if you make contact with yourselves, you will also certainly die.
What if we make contact with just Gus because he's not one of ourselves?
You can try it if you want.
I'm pretty sure there's another Gus. I'm fine with this.
What if we take Gus?
That's what I'm saying. If we just take their Gus,
Hold on. Well, no. What I'm saying is then who's going to sacrifice himself in
Guys,
Gus's place?
listen,
Listen,
stop
we
trying.
can't.
You're gonna give
Keep
yourself a
going
headache
down.
with this temporal
Yeah,
paradox.
exactly. So let's not.
Because if Gus is not there to sacrifice himself, we wouldn't be here in the first place to pick him back up so he couldn't sacrifice himself. So
Right. Also, like, we wouldn't have gotten out into the thing because he was the one who drove the damn pyramid. So
Yep.
yeah. All right. So the next 4 sessions will be temporal paradox. just be us like arguing our way through this. So everyone is dead.
So keep
all right.
uploading the same episode every week.
Super meta.
All right, guys.
The
Well,
one where Kevin couldn't intro us.
yeah,
Over and over again.
Do every week.
all right. So, do you guys have anything you want to? I mean, you guys have any questions? since we're
We
at
have
the
a
end
lot
the
of
session.
questions, but I think,
Sure, go ahead. I mean, if you
don't-
have any that can come to words, you're free to ask. Otherwise, we'll be done, I guess.
I guess where's our next destination?
Oh, that's an excellent point. You guys may need to review, I guess, some of the journals and stuff. But
Yeah.
I think the likely choices would be there's an Asian one. There's one in southern Europe, I guess.
There's the
Technically.
Mediterranean
Wait,
one.
where's the like Golaroth Mountain or whatever? The
That's what we're trying to figure out.
The Devouring.
We
Yeah.
didn't know where that was.
No, this was one of the things we thought was a possibility.
Is there another one?
I feel like we might need a recap, but we'll have to think about
Sure.
that.
Yeah,
We can talk about that.
that might be something we do going forward. But I think for now we should probably call it a night.
Oh, there's also the Trail of George Ayers, if you are in.
Oh my god, I
in-
forgot. From the university, the guy that. Yeah, I remember that. Okay.
I thought he went to the Yucatan. Where did George?
We went to
Ayers
the
go?
Africa.
Yeah. He was in Africa.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Well, I guess we're done for tonight. Are we on for X destination next week? Is that the plan?
No. We're gonna
No,
do
okay.
something else. We will.
Okay.
I think we're gonna
Breakdown.
do. Well, we could do maybe breakdown next week if you want.
I'd like to do a breakdown.
Okay.
It could be what we do for the week potentially. If
I think that would probably be fine with me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I have some stuff prepared, but we can do a breakdown instead. Otherwise, thanks everybody for watching. This was Trail of Cthulhu, Eternal Lies, Yucatan. If you've seen us on YouTube, come check out our Twitch channel every Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern.
It's a
If you're watching this
question mark.
live on Twitch, come check out our YouTube channel. If you've enjoyed this episode, then please check out our other ones on YouTube or tell other people you think might enjoy them. All right, guys, thank you very much
Thank you.
for playing. It's been great, and everybody have a good night.